Stand by for Lovington Wildcat football on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com.
Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
Go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Inco.
Go.
Network.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
It's time for Lovington Wildcat football. Lovington Wildcat football is on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com.
You can feel it in the air, like lightning on the edge of the night. You can feel it everywhere, but it's party time all over tonight. Friday night's a great night for football. Captain is Italians, ready to do it. Friday night's a great night for football. Sit back and relax and let's get down to it. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. We got a great night of football tonight. In this prime time jungle, every poundle is a rumble. Every seat's the 50-yard line. Guaranteed to have a good time. Wow.
Wildcat football is brought to you by Stone Oilfield Service, Bob's Thriftway, Battle Energy, Eunice Pump and Supply, First American Bank of Lovington, and Lovington Schools. Lovington football is also presented by Man Welding, VNB Rentals and Services, Lovington Auto Supply Napa, and Aftermath Hot Oil Services.
Friday night's a great night for football. The Cats and the Stallions are ready to do it. Friday night's a great night for football. Sit back and relax and let's get down to it. It's gonna be a
Now, let's head to the stadium for the Stone Oilfield pregame show with Don Morgan and the voice of the Cats, TJ Miracle. Lovington Wildcat football is on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com.
And welcome into your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show. I'm TJ Miracle. Don Morgan is fieldside as we get ready for a resumption of a game that we got, well, a few minutes of played yesterday, but we definitely saw some fireworks early as we get back to the action here. We're going to have 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lovington leading 15-6, and it was kind of a little back and forth. It looked like Lovington may just absolutely run away with things last night, Dawn, but yeah, it could be a little bit different story here as we've had a different day, and now it's sunlight, and the temperature's definitely different. So, even though we've, Lovington leading this one 15-6, it's still going to be a much different ball game on a Saturday afternoon as opposed to a Friday night.
Yeah, well, to begin with, it's just wrong to have to worry about getting a sunburn at a football game. I'm telling you, at a high school football game.
Except for maybe the playoffs, yeah.
Exactly. We don't do it very often. And the team does not play games during the day very often. They practice, and but it is a little bit unusual, right, for us, and a resumption of a game. Sometimes we've had games that were playoff games or games that were regularly, scheduled and moved to a Saturday, and we played the whole thing, during the Saturday. So resuming a game that was begun last night, it was very odd, I think, for the players as well. Now, last night, Portales was very dogged about sticking around, saying they wanted to get this game done last night, and they wanted to play. And I think it was certainly the right call as we finally, it was called about 11 o'clock and starting to rain and storm, and then it definitely did that, carried on, and then another round came back through, a couple of hours later. So it was the right thing to do, probably. And of course, they have to, when lightning strikes, they have to delay games, for 30 minutes at a pop. So they didn't have a choice on this in terms of the delays last night. But I think Lovington, of course, up on the board, but I think Portales was feeling a little momentum because they had gotten on the scoreboard. And even though they weren't able to get extra points on the end of that TD, at least they were on the board, and I think they were feeling it. I think they just wanted to do. Plus, holiday weekend. I think that there were probably plenty of plans that got changed, got moved around, and it looks like the whole Lovington crew is out there, but you never know what some parents may have said. You know what? We've already prepaid for this and that. For vacation, for time off for this holiday weekend, and sorry, we didn't get the game played. So my son's with us, and he can't play. So I don't know that there's any of that happening on Lovington or Portales teams, but it certainly probably caused a good deal of grumbling and rearranging of some holiday weekend plans, right?
Well, it certainly did. I know it caused some rearrangement of our plans. Actually, we were planning on doing the Tatum game this morning, but we didn't want to have a situation where we got stuck in Tatum, basically. So thanks to Ron Gunter for handling that. Tatum getting the big win, 54-0 in a game that ended at halftime. So now Lovington going to try and see what they can come up with here, leading 15-6 as we look at the numbers for the first 7 minutes and 11 seconds that we played of this one last night. It was a little bit inconsistent for Lovington. They came out on fire, scored quickly on their first two possessions. Justin Allen hooked up with Jaden Gutierrez twice, including for a touchdown for 85 yards. And Zach Diaz, 6 carries, 22 yards through the first 7 minutes plus of this one. But penalties, we saw a bunch of those. Lovington kind of shooting themselves in the foot a couple of times. They had 4 penalties for 45 yards. That's where we'll pick up in this one. On the other side of things for Portales, the Cat defense had done a very good job passing defense-wise, holding freshman Kingston Lee to 0 for 3, so no completions for him. But Slade Segovia dashed him 4 carries, 73 yards, including the big one, the 69-yard touchdown. And you've got to think you're going to see more and more and more of Segovia here today until Lovington proves they can stop the run. And really, they have been inconsistent, I think would be the best way to put it, stopping the run so far this season. Until they prove they can stop it, I have a feeling we are going to see a steady dose of Segovia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Segovia he made them really pay last night, and I think that's partly why Portales felt they had momentum, they were on a roll, they were starting to figure things out. I get a really good, solid feeling about the Lovington team today, though. It just feels good. I think that they're dug in. I think they're determined. I think they want to finish this, get out here and finish it. But you're right, they're going to have to contain Segovia. They're going to have to keep their eye on Kingston Lee and also contain him and do their best on all teams, offense, defense, and special teams. Everybody's got to be on their game today and go ahead and try to seal this up, finish this off, and move on. Let everybody move on with their holiday weekend. But they've got job to do and a little more than 3 quarters to come out here, play focused, consistent football beginning to end.
Well, and that's what you're going to want to do. Of course, there's already been at least somewhat of an upset today in the football world with Ohio State knocking off Texas earlier today, 14-7 and Texas rated number 1 in the college football world. I have a feeling it will probably go to Ohio State after this. Of course, Texas Tech playing after a while, and they certainly hope that they don't get upset. And there was a big college upset last night, too, as Tarleton State actually notching a victory. I think they were playing Army or somebody.
Yeah, it was Army.
Yeah, and so that was a bit of an upset, too. And so Lovington hopes the upsets don't continue as they head into they call it Big O Cat down in the or rather, I should say, up in the north end zone. Braden Cooper will be helping us with camera tonight after he gets through wrangling tonight. Old habits die hard. This afternoon, after we get that, of course, this is your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show from Stone Oilfield Services. W.H. Stone and the whole family over at Stone Oilfield Services. You need a friend out in the patch, you are going to have it from the good folks at Stone Oilfield Services, and they're always great supporters of Lovington Wildcat and Lady Cat athletics. Is Braden, you're a little early, so thanks for glad to have you here, my friend, as we get ready for the start of this one. Of course, when we get back to it, Lovington will be in the lead 15-6, and it will be a 2nd down and 10 with the ball on the 29-yard line as the Cats will come out for the resumption of this ball game on a warm Saturday afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the weather as we start this one. We're going to be looking at 81 and sunny as we start this one off. And fortunately, they're saying that the weather is going to hold off at least until we get through this one, maybe until this evening. So I think we're going to have just sunny, warm, and extremely humid conditions here, Dawn.
Yeah, it is. It's very sticky down here. But the nice thing is the breeze. Yeah, it's the wind actually is. And I don't think it's strong enough to really affect the game any. I mean, occasionally here or there, a gust could come up when the ball's in the air and maybe hold it up a little bit to whether it's kicked or thrown. But as far as, it's just helpful to have the sun and this humidity. It's helpful to have a little breeze, and I think that's going to help cool off not just
Speak
not
for
just
yourself.
me.
There's no breeze in the booth the way it's blowing.
Well, if you open the doors and you hold your, you
yeah,
open
but
the
I
doors
can't have
and
my
tilt
paperwork
everything just
flying
right.
all over the place.
You can get one breeze, but I'm thankful for it. I think the players are going to be thankful for it as well, to have a little bit of relief because it is unusual to be playing under the sunshine and the sunlight. So I actually was hoping for a little more cloud cover, not the kind of the rain, the spoiler cover, but just a little more cloud cover. But it is a beautiful day, a beautiful afternoon. And I think Lovington is ready to get this game going.
Wind out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour as we get ready to resume this one with the Cats up 15-6. We'll take a quick timeout, come back and resume this one as Wildcat football continues.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
As we are back here getting ready for the resumption of this one, it'll be Portales football. They'll have it 2nd down and 10 on the Wildcat 29. Back to the action after the delay of approximately 15 hours. So here we go. So Portales was driving. For some reason, I was thinking we were in the other end last night, but okay, whatever. This will work. So Portales with a 2nd down and 10 to go from the Wildcat 29-yard line. Segovia will be the solo back with Kingston Lee. Lovington in the lead by 9 points, 15-6.
It is weird to not be starting off with a kickoff.
Yes, it
Very
is.
odd.
So Lee from the shotgun, Segovia on his right shoulder. Lovington with 3 men across the front. 3-step drop for Lee. Looks left, throws left, wobbler up, and that one will be short. And really, that one could have almost been pass interference. Joseph Chieta was actually holding on to his defender down the field, so it'll fall incomplete. And so now it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Portales.
I think that may be either Keita or Kaida. Not sure.
We'll go with
him,
Kaida.
Yeah, he was actually having a pretty good game last night as well. We were announcing his name and watching him last night. So
Portales will come out on a 3rd down and 10 with trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Segovia is the deep back. I would look for him on this play. High snap, it's handled. Lee rolls right, option pitch. Segovia sweeping it to the right side and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Good job there by Chase Terrell as he gave chase and he wrapped up. He didn't just try an arm tackle. He wrapped up. It'll be no gain for Segovia. Actually, he's going to lose a yard on the play. And so now it'll be 4th down and 11. But this deep in the Lovington end, you've got to know that Coach Ramirez is going to go for it.
You bet. Nothing to lose. They're going to go for it and try to get momentum on their side in this restart. We've talked a lot about tackling technique, and that has plagued Lovington off and on over the years. It's something they continue to focus on. It certainly was an issue last game against Hobbs.
Trips to the left side. Now they'll send a man in motion from the left to the right. Twins each way. Lee back. Comes. He's going to get swarmed under back at the 41-yard line, and it's a huge sack. Lovington coming off the edge, and nice job there coming through Sterling White, who gets the sack. It'll be an 11-yard sack, first of the ball game, and over on downs for the Wildcats, as now Lovington will be out at their 40-yard line, 1st down and 10.
I told you, they just feel very ready, very fired up, very motivated. I think that really proves it. The line really working hard, reading that, bursting over right away, and putting the big sack on it.
So now Justin Allen will lead his squad back out, 1st down and 10. Lovington up by 9, $1:50 to go here in the first. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Lovington moving towards the south end zone here at Wildcat Stadium. Lee saying something to Diaz, and he fakes the handoff to Diaz, keeps it himself. Little spin move, but is going to have a shoestring by Segovia after the designed quarterback trap. He moves up about 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 7.
I really read that as kind of a blown because that was so low. The snap was on the turf.
We did see some of that last night.
We did. We saw some low snaps, and that was on the turf, and I think he had no choice but just to pick it up and try to go for it.
So on a 2nd down and 7, Twins left, Twins right. 4 receiver set. Portales puts 3 men across the front. Good snap this time, and whistles fly, and false start on the Wildcats. That'll be their 5th penalty for 50 yards. Move them back 5. You can't that it was the last drive for Lovington last night that we saw that penalties really did hurt him, as coming out will be Allen, and going in his spot will be Kyler Reeves.
Right.
It's Kyler's birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Braden.
And we also know that Kyler and Allen are brothers, stepbrothers.
Yes, they are. So the Wildcat formation, but it'll be Reeves pulling the trigger from the shotgun. Now he's going to shift everybody over. Pardon me, that's Gutierrez from the shotgun. He'll move everybody over, and Jaden will just keep it himself. He sweeps to the right side, stiff arms a man across the 40 and back out to the 43-yard line, and we will have flags on the play. I think we're going to have a face mask.
Face mask.
And in on that, of course, there was a swarm, but Donovan Lucero, number 23, was first one in on the pile and then up.
7 yards for Gutierrez, and it will be face mask on Portales. Is it the incidental kind? Nope, it's the 15-yarder. So that'll be a Wildcat first down, their 3rd first down of the ball game. 2 penalties, 20 yards on the Rams, and that will move Lovington all the way in to Portales territory, as that's going to mark them down at the Portales 41-yard line. So a big penalty there to keep the drive alive. Under a minute to go here in the first as we resume this game from last night. 52 seconds to go. Wildcats now in the territory of the Rams. Allen back in the ball game. Good snap. Hand it to Diaz. Starts right, brings it back up the middle. Crosses the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2. Hard running inside for Diaz. Right. 7 carries, 24 yards for Zach.
Yeah. He got stood up, but he got some good forward progress. They're going to mark it at the 39.
They're actually going to give him 3 on that one, so 2nd down and 7. So 7 carries, 25 yards for Diaz. As Allen comes over to the sideline, gets the play from Coach Bailey, and he will take it into the huddle. Plenty of time on the play clock. About a second difference between the play clock and the game clock. 15-6, Cats in the lead. Allen from the shotgun, waits on it. Good snap this time. 3-step drop. Looks right. Pump fake. Goes right. Has a man. Underneath, Rivero. That's Rivero across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Pitch and catch 10 yards to Elijah and move the chains. First down Wildcats. They're 4th of the ball game, and that'll end the first quarter. Lovington on the march and leading 15-6. We're back in a minute. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Lovington Wildcat fans, are you ready for the battle? For all your BOP nipple-ups and BOP testing, call Battle Energy. Battle Energy is also providing safety training, no matter where you need it. Battle does on-site or mobile training. Call today at 575-942-9472 for the company that's ready to go to battle with you. Battle Energy proudly supports all Lovington and Lee County athletics.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
So we change to the second quarter. The Wildcats in the lead, 15-6, and on the march. I'm TJ Miracle alongside Don Morgan patrolling the field. Braden Cooper running our camera here this afternoon. So the Wildcats will have it on a 1st down and 10. They are on their own 28-yard line after a 10-yard pitch and catch from Allen to Rivero. So 1st down for the Wildcats, trying to go up by further than 9 as we start this second quarter. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Low snap. Allen handles it, rolls right, looks right, fires, and don't know who he was throwing to there, but he overthrew everybody, incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
I think it probably was intended for Jaden Gutierrez.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Heard Coach just reminding the sideline here. Energy a couple of minutes ago. Really trying to get him pumped up.
Reeves will come out.
And loud.
Allen will relay the play in on a 2nd down and 10. Just underway, second quarter. Lovington up 15-6. Twins right, single receiver to the left. Low snap, hand it to Diaz. He bounces right, has some room, crosses the 25 down to the 20-yard line. Hard running on the inside. It'll be an 8-yard gain for Diaz and a much more manageable 3rd down and 2.
Diaz does have a knack of finding the seam, and he's got good impulse speed, and he's tough. He kind of refuses to go down. You try to get him, and he's gonna try to dig out and gut out an extra yard or 2 or 3.
So 3rd down and a long 2 for the Wildcats. Knocking on the door of the Portales red zone. Split backs in the backfield with Allen this time. Hand it off. Good running room for Diaz, and he is going to be ridden out of bounds at the 15-yard line. It's 7 more for Zach, and move the chains. 1st down, Lovington.
Nice. This is exactly the kind of march that they want. They like it. You know, you've heard Coach say they're not so much about slow, plodding, determined. Got the grit, but they really like energy. They like explosive offense, really making big plays happen.
Salgado on the stop there for Portales, and so Lovington will go with the split backs in the backfield once again. It's Mendeville back with Diaz looking to pass, throwing over the middle and picked off in the end zone. And coming back the other way and slipping and sliding down as Jacoby Bamforth comes up and makes the grab. He just picked that one off. And again, I think a little miscommunication. And that one was right into Bamforth's hands, and the INT ends the Lovington threat. And so Portales will take back over on the Lovington turnover.
And again, you know, we're seeing low snaps. Now, maybe that's how Allen likes it. Maybe that's it. But we continue to see the low snaps, and it does take an extra fraction of a second to have to get that, make sure, you know, you've got it and able to come up with a fieldable play.
So now after the turnover, Portales will have it 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Lee with it. He will pitch it out. Segovia sweeps to the left side, and he is going to be hit behind the line and dropped, but we've got a flag on the play. That one came out early, but they let it go, so I've got to think it's maybe a hold on Portales, but we'll see.
Really early.
Yeah, it did come out early. And they can choose if it's a hold. It's actually a false start, and so it'll be false start on.
They're asking Coach Bailey, what do you want to do?
And so if it's a false start, it should be 1st and 15 because that should blow the play dead. So
declines, 2nd down.
Nope, they had to take it, and so it'll be 1st down and 15, but they will move them back to the 7-yard line. Yeah, you can't decline a false start because it's pre-snap.
Well, he put his arms out and said decline, so that's what I was going on. Okay.
And so now they're asking if they could decline it, but since it's a pre-snap penalty, it's a dead ball foul. So that's I'm afraid you can't. If you decline it, it's 1st and 10. If not, if they somehow decide that it's not pre-snap, it should be 2nd down. It should be 1st and 10 from the original line of scrimmage. I don't think you can take the result of that play, but okay, they do.
They moved it back.
Yep, so now it'll be 2nd down and 12. I'm not sure about that one at all. As they're going to bunch everybody in tight, hand it off. Segovia goes right side. No room to run, and he's going to be knocked down back at the 10-yard line as the big boys up front again sniffing that one out and doing a nice job on the inside. And actually coming through the middle of all that was Chase Terrell, and it'll be another loss of a yard for Segovia. And so now it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it a short 13 or a long 12 from just behind the 10-yard line. 2 minutes have expired. Portales puts 3 men in tight on the right side, single receiver to the left. Lee waits, rolls to the right side, looks downfield, pressured from the backside, steps up in the pocket, throws it down. He's got a man wide open, and that one will be caught. And on his way down is going to be number 8. That is Thomas Salgado, and that's a huge play. And so that's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 63 yards. to number 8, Salgado, and that'll be the third first down for Portales.
Yeah, and it looked like we had a good chance for an INT on that. Close coverage, and the team was blocking out my view. I didn't see which Lovington Wildcat was.
And that
right
was
there with him.
Gutierrez, and I think Gutierrez, instead of thinking about knocking it away, he was just thinking he wanted the INT, but Salgado grabbed it off of the bounce and was able to take off. So now they'll throw the wide receiver screen to Salgado again this time as he starts left, and he loses the ball. It is loose on the turf, and the Wildcats will have it back, as that will be a completed pass to actually number 2, Bamforth. And so Bamforth going to get a 6-yard completion, but then the fumble. And so over to the Lovington Wildcats.
Now that's Jacoby Bamforth. He's number 2. There's another Bamforth on the roster, number 6, John Bamforth. But yeah, a little bit of football karma maybe there, as Lovington dodges a bullet and gets it back.
Yes, they do. So now Lovington will take back over after a Portales turnover. They'll have it at the 28-yard line inside their own territory. Twins to the left side, single receiver to the right. Got a tight end on the right side, too. Allen waits for it, hands it to Diaz. He will start it to the left, bring it back right, take it back left, and then fall forward for about 2 yards, holding on to one of the Rams. That was number 55, Trip Hamilton. So pickup of 2 for Diaz, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats.
And we have seen, and we saw it in the first game against Hobbs, that Lovington had limited success with the run right up the middle against Hobbs, and now last night they had had some stops as well, just like that.
So on a 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats. 2 on the right side, tight, 1 on the left. And that one will be to Mendiola, and he drops it, and he is another fumble back at the 25-yard line. So Mendeville is actually going to be credited for a 5-yard loss and a fumble, and Lovington will turn it over deep inside their own territory and back to Portales, as all of a sudden the Butterfingers have come out for both squads.
Wow. Back and forth. This is not the kind of seesaw that Lovington wants to see. They really need consistency.
So now it'll be 1st and 10 for Portales after the Wildcat turnover. They are on the Lovington 29-yard line, actually 24-yard. So Lee back out there, tight set with trips on the right.
Can't put the ball on the ground.
No, you cannot. From the pistol, pitch it to, guess who? That is Segovia, and he will get up the middle, and the ball's loose again. And Segovia gets it off of a rugby bounce and picks it back up and gets back inside the 20-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of from the 26 to the 20. It's about a 7-yard gain for Segovia, and it'll be 2nd down and 3. Give him 6 officially, so 2nd and 4 now for Portales.
We talked about this in pregame, that they're going to have to find an answer. Segovia was just going to keep hurting them if they didn't contain him.
Twins left, twins right from the far hash mark. Lee with it, hand it to Segovia, goes right, bounces off of a Lovington lineman, gets it inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That ought to be enough for the first down.
There's some laundry on the field.
We do have a flag on the play, and it'll be holding on Portales, so move them back.
A little bit of a break there for Lovington.
Yes, it is. So it'll go from 1st down and 10 inside the 20 to being 2nd down, and that'll be from the spot. It'll be 2nd down and about, well, that must have happened behind the line, because it'll wind up being 2nd down and 15.
I know we got a lot of football left to play in this game, but this feels like a really important possession for Portales and an important time for Lovington D to try to not just slow them down, but stop them.
So move them back out to the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 15 for the Portales Rams. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Lee looks for the option pitch. Instead, he's going to get crunched, and he is going to go down. He's going to be sacked. Big number 51, that's Lucas Quintana, the sophomore, gets to him. So Quintana going to get credit for the sack, and it'll be a 5-yard sack, 2nd sack of the ball game. And so that'll make it 3rd down and 20 now. Nowhere to go on that option pitch, as Segovia had gotten way too far out in front. You want it with an option pitch, you need to go backwards or sideways, almost exactly sideways. Again, I think that's part of the maturation of a very young team, which Portales is. 7:13 to go first half. 3rd down and 20. Back to passes Lee. Pressured. Dumps it off. Segovia with it. Has some room on the right side. Crosses the 30 to the 20. at the 20. He'll be down around the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of, let's call it 16 on the completion to Segovia, but it'll still be a third down and a ways to go.
Yeah, good stop by Rivero, who just plowed down and tackled him, in the legs, and that's what you got to do.
So now it'll be fourth down and call it 4. Portales will go for it as the clock ticks down to the halfway mark of this second quarter. Lovington leading by 9, 15-6 is the score. 3 receivers to the left side, single receiver to the right. The man by himself to the right is Salgado. Lee with it, going to change the play at the line. Down to 2-1, and timeout going to have to be taken by Coach Ramirez to talk about it. And so on a fourth down and 4, Portales going to talk about it. 6:16 to go first half. Lovington 15, Portales 6. Back in 30 here on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Listen up, Oil Patch. Aftermath Hot Oil Services is here for you. No matter what the conditions, they'll always do what it takes to get the job done. You want Aftermath on your location for hot oilers, back trucks, roustabouts, steam pressure washers, and back dragging. Just to name a few of the jobs they can do for you. These guys don't stop. Call Dominic at Aftermath Hot Oil Services, 575-200-4902 for service that never quits. 575-200-4902. Aftermath Hot Oil Services.
Back here at Wildcat Stadium, high above the stadium in the blue turf, I'm TJ Miracle. Don Morgan patrolling the turf. Braden Cooper running our camera today. Tiffany Evie keeping an eye and an ear on things back at One Radio Square. So after the timeout, Portales facing a fourth down and 4 to go inside the Lovington red zone. And they will go for it. Going to send 3 receivers to the left side, a single receiver to the right. Coach Ramirez is going to spread everybody out a little bit wider as he tells Joseph Kita to come on further over to the left. Low snap. Lee with it. Rolls to the left. Pressured. Steps up. Now he's going to have to tuck it. Take it himself. And Lovington will get him right at the line. Good pursuit. And a nice job done there by Kyler Reeves. It'll be no gain on the play for Kingston Lee. And it'll be over on downs to the Wildcats. And so the defense steps up in a big way there and keeps the turnover from biting them in the booty.
Yeah, good job, and it was a great job. As there were several defensemen who read that and were backing up Kyler. In fact, number 8 was Joaquin Vasquez, who got there a little early but missed him just a little bit to the left. But no worries because the other guys were right there.
So on a first down and 10, Lovington has it at their own 18-yard line. Twins to the left side, hand it to Diaz. He sweeps it to the right, has some room, crosses the 20, out to the 24-yard line, but flag on the play. And we're going to have holding immediately on Lovington. So it goes from being about a 4.5, 5-yard gain to being a 10-yard penalty. And so it'll be first down and 20 for the Wildcats, moving the wrong direction.
Again, it's Lovington kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They get some momentum going, and then something like that happens. They make a couple of good plays, or they get lucky off of something that Portales has done a mistake, and then, then they kill it.
And happened right at the line. So from first and 10 to first and 20. So the Wildcats will be moving it backwards. Still leading 15-6 halfway through this one. Both teams, just kind of trying to find their way through it so far early.
Yeah, dangerously close to the end zone for Lovington.
From the 8-yard line. Wildcat football, first and 20. Allen back into his own end zone. Looks left. Now he's going to have to tuck it. Chased. Comes right. Throws it. And off of the first tip, almost picked and off and into the hands of Giovanni Contreras, but that one was almost picked off before that one by Bamforth. Almost had his second INT of the ball game, and so incomplete. The Wildcats dodge a little bit of a bullet. I'm not sure if Allen is not seeing that underneath crossing man for Portales, but he has thrown it almost right to that man 4 times now.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be just something to work out, offensively with the play and with that call and with his line.
So now on a second down and 10 second and 20 for the Wildcats. Diaz on the right shoulder. Back to pass. Once again, Lee rolls, throws it back across. Has a man at the 15. Out to the 20. Still on his feet to the 25-yard line. As that'll be complete to Rivero. So out to the 20-yard line. He's going to get 11 yards. And so a more manageable third down and 9 after the 11-yard completion. That will put Allen over 100 yards passing for the game. 106 through the air. on 4 of 10.
My apologies. Sometimes I'm a little late on updating the scoreboard. Having a little trouble seeing it. The sunlight, not usually a problem, but the sunlight.
Gave him some good forward progress across the 20 to the 22-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 6. Good snap. Allen rolls to the right. Pressured, looks, flag on the play, and he will throw that one down the field, and it'll be picked off. Oh, unfortunately, it'll come in and out of the hands there of Andrew Lozano as Gutierrez again having to turn into defensive back. But we've got a flag on the play, and it'll be 10 yards on Lovington. So 7 penalties for 70 yards now. Although if that one is picked off, Coach Ramirez, I would imagine, is going to go, nope, decline it. But now it'll go from 3rd down. Oh, and he will decline that one. So Lovington going to dodge a bit of a bullet there. He's going to make Lovington punt this one at 4th down and 6. So 4th and 6 instead of facing a 3rd down and around 16. Wants to not give the Wildcat offense any more opportunities than he absolutely has to.
Caleb Aranda is back. Ready?
So Aranda on to do the kicking duties. Good snap. Caleb with it. Puts the boot into it. It is a high spiraling kick over the head of Bamforth, and he's going to let that one bounce at the 25. Takes a little bit of a Lovington bounce down inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line where it'll be downed by Carter Moore. And so Portales, after a beaut of a punt, will have it inside their own 20 as they take back over, trailing by 9 with 4:36 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, nice the leg of Caleb Aranda and the movement of that football, the way he caught that off his foot and the spin that it had in the air, and it landed nice Lovington bounce. And that's going to pin Portales back deep into their territory. Good job.
That's going to flip everything. That's going to be about a 62-yard punt when it's all said and done with no return. And so Lee will be back out with Segovia. They are your backfield. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Lovington 4 men across the front. Lee throws the wide receiver screen and in and out of the hands of Bamforth. And so incomplete, and so that'll make it a 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 4:32 to go here in the first. Lee is 3 of 8 for 85 yards.
There was good defensive pressure put by Jaden Garcia and Damon Leba, among others there.
So on a 2nd down and 10, Portales, after forcing Lovington to punt after some bad penalties by the Wildcats, send a man in motion from the left to the right. Get an extra back in the backfield. They'll hand it to Segovia. Goes right and goes right across the 20 and into the arms of the Wildcats. Kyler Reeves once again also coming up from the bottom of that pile was Joaquin Vasquez. It'll be a pickup of, we'll call it 4 there for Segovia. 9 carries and 79 yards for Segovia. So a manageable 3rd down and 6 with 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. Portales will have the football to start the second half. They would love to punch one in right here. They do still have 2 timeouts to work with. 3 receivers on a tighter set to the left side. Lee waits for it. He's going to roll to that left. Pressure comes from the backside, throws it. Bamforth with it, tippy-toes the line across the 30 at the 32-yard line. It'll be a 9-yard pickup to Bamforth, and it'll be a 1st down for Portales, their 4th.
Yeah, Lovington just really needs to make a stop. Lovington, if you not have gotten on the board again before before halftime, after this game resumed, I would have called you a liar.
So it'll be 1st down for Portales from the 32-yard line after the 9-yard completion out to Bamforth. From the far hash mark, send a man in motion. Going to put him back in behind the line. Hand it off to Segovia and right into the teeth of the line. Might have gotten a yard before he is met there and dropped. Coming out of there is Chase Terrell for the Wildcats. Also big number 77, Damian Leyva, in on the stop. It'll be a pickup of 1 for Segovia. 10 carries, 80 yards. I don't have to be a mathematician to do those numbers. 8 yards a carry for Segovia. He has really hurt the Wildcats so far. 3:20 remaining on a 2nd down and 9. First half of action on this lightning resumed game from last night. Twins to the left, twins to the right, and a 4-receiver set from the far hash mark. Lee back, going to be pressured as Vasquez will get him behind the 30, down at the 28-yard line. Third sack of the night as Vasquez will bring him down. And so that'll make it third down and call it about 14 now. Good job there by Joaquin Vasquez. He got off of his block and shot through and then got the shoestrings and brought down Kingston Lee.
Yeah, he's been able to beat his man on the line several times tonight, not always with a sack, but always with good penetration and really breaking up a play or giving really good pressure.
Third sack of the afternoon for the Wildcats. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Portales, I think, going to have to take a timeout here as we're down to 3 seconds on the play clock. And, yep, they will call timeout to figure it out at third down and 16. We'll just keep it right here and say a big thanks to our friends at Aftermath Auto Oil Services, Bob's Thriftway, the Lovington Schools, Stone Oilfield Services, B&B Rentals, Man Welding, the First American Bank of Lovington, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lovington Auto Supply Napa, and Battle Energy, making Wildcat football possible. Here on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. It's because of those folks that we never have to charge you. And so we appreciate them making it possible for us, again, not to have to charge you. Unfortunately, too many schools, too many broadcasters do. But because of those folks, we don't even have to consider doing that. And we definitely do appreciate them very much. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan patrolling the field here at Brian Urlacher Field, the famous blue turf at Wildcat Stadium. Braden Cooper running camera for us. Tiff and Evie keeping an eye and an ear on things back at One Radio Square. So out of the Portales timeout, they're trying to figure out a third down and 16 to go. After the Wildcats get their third sack of the afternoon, 2:24 remaining here in the first half.
Talking a little bit over here on the sideline with one of the refs, he said that they got caught in the storm going back home. They made it home at about 3 a.m. He said the team made it home, I think, at either about 2, and he made it home at 3. He said it was bad. Conditions were really bad.
Empty set in the backfield. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Lee back to pass. Has good protection this time. Pump fake. Now he's going to be flushed. He's got nothing but turf in front of him. He will cross the 30 to the 32-yard line. Good chase made by Kyler Reeves. It'll be a pickup of 4 for Kingston Lee. Good coverage down the field. And so Portales will take their final time out.
And Kyler Reeves with really good speed, but, man, he's been showing such good tackling technique, and I think that's a really great example.
And actually, the Wildcats going to take the timeout. They want to talk about it because they will have a chance now to get the football back with 2:05 remaining in the half. Of course, we've got your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show coming up. Lovington Auto Supply, your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation, too, on this Saturday afternoon. Just a reminder, of course, weather permitting, next Friday night we'll be back to normal and back here at the blue turf of Wildcat Stadium as the Cats will be facing off against the Carlsbad Cavemen. I don't know that we're going to get a game like we got in Carlsbad last year, Don. Over 1,000 yards of offense, almost 100 points scored. That wasn't a football game. It was a track meet last year.
It was a track meet.
And I actually got trapped in the stadium when they locked me in.
Yeah, with a basketball score.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely. So it would be a battle of the Blues on the blue turf next Friday, but we got to get this one taken care of first.
We certainly do. And so on a 4th down and 11 to go, punt time now for the Portales Rams. On to do the punting duties, Clayt Hamilton. Couple of Wildcats back deep to receive as Hamilton will get that one away. A good end-over-ender. Going to bounce, and Lovington gets away from it. Takes a Portales bounce at the 35, then goes sideways down to the 30-yard line, and they decide who's going to touch it. They're like, you touch it. I don't know. I don't want to touch it. You touch it. You touch it. And finally the ref says, it's dead. Whistle it. Lovington football, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line with 1:52 remaining here in the first half. They've got some work to do, but they would like to expand on this lead if they could. Maybe time. We saw them last week against Hobbs when they went into that 2-minute hurry-up offense. They actually found a little more rhythm.
They did. And, you know, Coach Bailey has said they really are a team that works best on the move with a lot of energy, pumped up. They're not a deliberate, slow, control the clock, control the football kind of a team. So quick works best for them.
3 receivers to the left side, twins to the right. Empty set in the backfield. Back to pass, though, the wide receiver screen. That one will be complete across the 25 to the 30. Looking for the sideline, 35 to Diaz out of the backfield. So Diaz crosses and going to be at the 41-yard line. It'll be good for 11, and he gets out of bounds. Move the chains. First down, Wildcats. Their 5th first down of this ball game, and gets out of bounds, more importantly, and stops the clock at 1:45 remaining here in the first half. 1:17 through the air now for Allen, as they will trot back up to the line. They will put Diaz back in the backfield once again with Allen on his right shoulder. Twins are left, twins to the right. Fake the handoff, and Allen's like, uh-oh, I think I'm going to have to take it myself. I think maybe a bit of a busted play there. Yeah. And he'll manage to get a yard or 2 out of it. Call it a 2-yard gain for Allen, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Now they will need to go hurry up because the clock moves.
Trip Hamilton is the one that broke through and got to him first.
So some miscommunication we've seen last night and tonight and last week, too, for that matter. We're still working on it. 4 receivers set, hard count. Portales jumped, didn't get seen. Now Justin going to have to go over and change the play at the line, making sure everybody knows what to do with 10 seconds. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Another low snap. That one gets kicked around. It's loose on the turf, and Portales has it back on Lovington's 3rd turnover of the ball game. That one will go in the book of Allen. It'll be a 2-yard loss and a fumble. And so back over to Portales as the Butterfingers continue.
The low snaps are just plaguing this team. This is a case of a low snap, and just so low it was on the turf, and that causes quarterback is having to look down, look up, keep his field of vision clear, but also try to get the ball and scoop it up, and it's
3
just
turnovers.
Problems.
Yeah, very, very unlike this Wildcat squad. Lovington shows blitz. Allen throws it, and that'll be a backwards pass. And, they are going to say tipped at the line. If not, that was very close to a backwards pass and would have been a live ball. So Kingston Lee gets a bit of a break right there. It'll be incomplete and stops the clock with a minute to play here in the half, and 2nd down and 10 for Portales. So no scoring here in this second quarter thus far. None at the end of the first quarter either. 15-6. Both of these squads looking for their first victory of the season. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Lee with it, pump fake left, now throws it, has a man out in the flat, bobbled but caught right at the line of scrimmage. They are going to say that will be complete as it goes to number 6. That's John Bamforth, the other Bamforth. And so it'll be no gain officially. It will be a completion, but no gain. And so 3rd down and 10. Clock continues to move with 35 seconds to go here in the first half. And I've got to think there's about 10 seconds difference, play clock, game clock. So if you're Portales here, you might ought to think about just kneeling it down and going into the locker room. If you're Lovington, you don't want to let anybody get behind you.
Lovington knows. And
they will hand it off in a big hole up the middle to Segovia. He's got room, and he's going to cross the 35 down to about the 31-yard line. It'll be close to first down territory, and Portales takes their last time out with 12 seconds to go here in this first half. We'll just keep it right here. They're going to say he's just shy of the first down, so a 9-yard gain for Segovia, 89 yards on 11 carries for that young man. And so you've got 12 seconds, but you got to get the first down. Now you're out of timeouts. Basically, if you're Portales, you've got 1 shot at the first down and then maybe 1 shot at the end zone, and it may wind up being the same play.
And I think that they're going to go for that. They want to go into the halftime with momentum. They can't tie it up, but they're going to have the football to start the second half. So I think that's exactly what they want. They want to find the red zone.
Red zone and the end zone, probably more importantly. So really, your option here, I think maybe you've got time for 2 plays. A quick hit to Segovia up the middle, get the first down, spike the ball, and then head for the end zone with 1 play. I think that's really probably what we're going to see here. I could be wrong, but and I've always said, and this will be the first time I've said it this season, there's a reason I'm up here and not down there.
Well, you've got you do run the risk of turning the ball over, but you got 12 seconds left before the half, and why not go for it? Of course, Lovington, that's going to have to stop it.
Leave from the pistol formation, and he will just hand it to Segovia, and whistles sound. He would have had the first down, but I think we're going to have – they blew that one dead pretty quickly, and it'll be false start on Portales. And Lovington will take that one. So that'll be Portales' fourth accepted penalty for, quick math here, 35 yards. Can't read my own handwriting. So it'll be 4th down and 6 now. 8 seconds remaining on the clock, and so that changes what you're going to do here.
And they're going to put more seconds back on the clock. They're going to say,
yeah, false start. They should put 12 back on the clock.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to take it from 8 back to 12.
Yeah, since that one was whistled dead, it was a pre-snap penalty. And so, yeah, they should be moving that back. Well, they're not going to. Yep, there it goes. Back to 12 seconds on the clock. So now if you're Lovington, I would just line probably 9 guys up, about the 10-yard line. I would let them complete it because you know for sure this one's going to the end zone.
The ref is just letting Coach Bailey know what they were doing with the clock, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it has to be. So it'll be 4th down and 6 to go for this Portales Rams team. As
if you have a blowhorn or anything that's simulating a whistle sound, we're asking you to please.
And so they're asking, sounds like maybe a noisemaker in the crowd that sounds a little too much like a whistle.
Yeah,
so
that explains. A couple of times I've heard Portales fans say, go get the horn, go get the horn.
So now trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Waiting on it, good snap to Lee. Steps up in the pocket, lets that one fly. Goes down the left sideline. That one is up and bounces around, and it is caught in the end zone off of the tip, and it'll be a Portales touchdown as they got what they wanted as Joseph Kita, number 10, takes it in that'll be from 38 yards, and it'll be a touchdown, and we have got a ball game here in Lovington.
It popped up. Alex Kane was down there on coverage, and that ball popped up, and at that point I thought, okay, we're safe, it's good, but Kita reached out and got it back.
38 yards to Joseph Kita. And I just heard our colleagues next door say it that way, so we know it's Kita.
Good.
And so now the point after to come. It's 15-12 as the Wildcat D lets them down. And so they go for it all, and they get it. Pretty good coverage there, but again, and we'll talk about this in the postgame or in the halftime report, but in the kick is up, and that one is going to be no good. And so with 3 seconds to go here in the first half, 15-12, Lovington up by 3. We'll just keep it right here. And, yeah, I know we'll talk about this in the keys to the second half, Don, but too many times when Portales has gotten a big passing play, that 63-yarder earlier to Salgado, and then the 38-yard touchdown is now to Kita. They've tried to intercept the ball instead of just knocking it away. And when you're on defense, you just try and knock it away. You've got to be aware of the situation. That was 4th down. Just knock it away.
Just do the job and not worry about trying to be a hero.
Yeah, don't be a hero. Yeah. Do your job. And too many times Lovington trying to be the hero and instead of just knocking it away, letting it be an incomplete pass. And in that case, it's an incomplete pass that also turns into an over on downs. You try and intercept the ball, and it winds up being a big play the other way.
But, I also think, the defenseman also saw the ball pop up and thought, okay, it's a dead ball now. It's popped up, no problem. And Kita just said, no, I think I'll just reach back up, grab that, and
got it. Yeah, pretty much got it on his back. But until it's still a live ball until it touches the turf.
Exactly.
So you play to the whistle, as they say. So don't be a hero. That's definitely, I have a feeling, going to be one of our keys to the second half. As now it's 15-12 as Portales making this a ball game. And they have scored 2 unanswered, but they have not managed to click through on the point afters. That's the difference in the ball game right now, as Hamilton will just kick that one onto the ground. Not going to give Lovington any chance for return, as picking that one up and coming back is Carter Moore, and that will end the first half. And Moore gets tied up and slammed down by Kyle Abadie. Lucky there wasn't a continuation personal foul on that would have been assessed on the kickoff. But we are at halftime, 15-12, Lovington in the lead. We've got a ball game here. Got your Napa Know-How halftime show coming up from Lovington Auto Supply. Now your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. Don Morgan and Coach Bailey.
Coach, it's kind of an odd thing to have the game called last night, continuation today. coming out. What's the feeling, and what do you see and think? Of course, you're going into halftime right on the heels of Portales score, and they'll have the ball coming out at the half. So what do you tell the team?
Oh, our energy is not good enough, and we can't make any excuses. It doesn't matter if you played last night, today. It doesn't matter what's going on or who's in, who's out, or whatever. None of that matters. I mean, I want us to be fearless enough to do what's right and work hard and play as hard as we can with relentless effort, no matter what.
I've heard you tell the team a couple of times, energy, and that's what you meant. Crowd's a little quiet too. Not as many people here today, but again, as you said, the results matter. It's not the cause.
Yes, ma'am. I don't want to. I can't blame them. I can't blame anything. I mean, we got to play football. When anybody comes and plays in Lovington, I want them to not just think they're playing the guys on the blue turf. I want them to be thinking they're playing the entire town and the entire school. But at the same time, it is all up to us to deal with what we can deal, control with what we can control. I'm frustrated with our energy and our effort right now. We got to get better.
Yeah, you've said before, you play well when you play with explosion and with energy and with fire.
Yes, ma'am, and I think we did that last night early, and then we've just slowed down, and that just kind of shows to me like our fortitude of how strong we are mentally right now. We came out and played great last night early on. We've got to be tough enough to do that no matter what's going on.
All right, let's relight the fire. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Your Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation going into the halftime report. Your Napa Know How halftime show on the way. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Lovington Municipal Schools welcomes everyone back. Students, faculty, staff, and parents. This year, show your Wildcat spirit by supporting Lovington students and their activities. While the students are working hard on their games and grades, Lovington schools are working hard for your students and parents. They have a great website full of helpful information to keep you up to date. Check out
reconnecting up to the network now, so sorry about that as we reconnect here on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. So the Wildcats leading 15-12, of course. And here we are. We have all this great analysis in the Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know How halftime show, and we were off the air.
Oh, no.
And thanks to Tiff for, cluing us in and letting us know that we were having problems. The most important part, though, is the ball game, the Wildcats and the Rams. And Lovington will be kicking off to the Rams to start this second half. 15-12 is our score. High above Wildcat Stadium, I'm TJ Miracle. Don Morgan patrols the blue turf of Brian Urlacher Field. Braden Cooper running our camera here this afternoon. 15-12, and it wouldn't be a Lovington-Portales game if you didn't have pretty much what we're seeing, a back and forth affair,
a barn burner for sure,
a barn burner, and things going on. So, and I said this when these two played for the state championship in 4A a couple of years ago. I don't think it would matter if it was football, baseball, basketball, softball, or a chess match or tiddlywinks. I really do think you would probably have, for the most part, good games when it comes down to these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. And so, it's good that Portales is making Lovington work for it, I think, and show up. And Lovington's got to answer. It's not important taking the hit. It's how you handle it and what you do afterward. And I think they've still 3 up on the board to start this second half, and they just got to get the energy up, get their communication on offense fixed, and get ready. You're going to play like their hair is on fire in the second half, and I think that'll help them.
So Caleb Aranda will tee it up, and he will kick it towards the north end zone. Couple of men back deep that's Bamforth and Segovia back deep to receive for Portales. So Caleb will come up on it, and here we go. Third quarter is underway. It's a high end-over-ender, and Bamforth just going to watch that one go through the back of the end zone. So it doesn't look like any problems at all with Aranda's leg. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Rams.
He was in good form last night, in good form again today.
And good to know if he's got the big boot on that, what we're seeing, a 3-point lead, it could very well come down to maybe a late field goal.
Right, or those points after touchdowns, very important, but Lovington's got to punch it in first.
Little confusion on the Wildcat line as Lee will lead his squad out for the Rams, moving from the left to the right. Lee with it, steps up in the pocket, gets away from a little pressure. Now he's going to come near side, turns it up the 20, 25 to the 30, and runs out of bounds at the 32-yard line, but I think we're going to have a clip coming the other way as trying to save was Bamforth and getting And we'll have an illegal block in the back. And so that'll wipe out a 12-yard gain by Kingston Lee. And so that'll move it backwards as the block in the back. Bamforth getting into Vasquez. And so that's what you want to see. That'll be just a 5-yarder. Is that a 10-yarder? So that'll be a 5-yard penalty, I do believe. I thought it was a 10, but so now they'll march it off from the 20. There's 5. And keep going. Yep, so it happened just behind the line. So it will be a 10-yard penalty. That'll be the 5th penalty for 45 yards on Portales. So it'll be first down and 18 on the Rams. Happens from the spot of the foul. Nope, they're going to move it all the way back to the 10. So it'll be first down and 20 for the Rams.
First down and Hobbs.
It's not quite that far yet, but it's getting there. So it'll be a first and 20 after the illegal block in the back on Portales. Good snap. They'll pitch it to Segovia, sweeping to the left side. Nowhere to go, and he's going to be knifed down back at the 6-yard line. It'll be a 4-yard loss. Good pursuit there by the Wildcats.
Yeah, good read all the way down the line from Lovington D on that.
Jaden Garcia.
Rivera, too.
And Rivero, too. So Garcia and Rivero in on that stop.
Alex Rivera.
So that'll be a second down now, and we'll call it second and 24. We're at least a second in Humble City now. So trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Lee going to be almost in his own end zone. He'll just keep it himself, and a designed run. He'll take it to the right side, gets upended by Elijah Rivero out to the 10-yard line. So he's going to pick up 3 on the designed quarterback keeper, get a little bit more room to work with, and so now it'll be third down and 21.
Nice work again. This is the kind of energy, Lovington has often fed, their offensive success has been fed off of their defensive strength, and this is the case here. I think it's setting them up.
Empty set in the backfield, 3 receivers left, twins to the right. Waiting on it is Lee. Good snap. He'll come on the wide receiver screen, going left side to Segovia, and he gets knifed down by Vasquez at the 11-yard line. Nice job, Joaquin Vasquez. They're going to give him forward progress. It'll be a 3-yard completion to Segovia, but it's fourth down and a long way to go. It's going to be punt time for the Portales Rams. Good job by the defense. Let's see if the special teams can get them closer, and then maybe the offense can spark off.
That was very nice. A little sliding tackle there. Took the legs right out from under him. So nice work by the defense.
Jaden Gutierrez back deep to receive. As on to do the punting is Clayton Hamilton. Hamilton with his heels in his own end zone. High snap, handles it. He comes around, almost blocked. It'll be a helicopter kick as Lovington gets away with it at the 35-yard line. Flags on the play, takes a big Portales bounce, and going to be downed at the 45, 44-yard line by Nevin Cordova.
That was Joaquin Vasquez, who came out early, really.
Problem is, if that's roughing the kicker, although that one came out, I don't think it's roughing the kicker, but I think it's probably a coverage penalty down the field.
Yeah, but he did a nice job getting away from his man and getting and almost blocking that ball.
And Coach Ramirez is halfway out to the hash mark.
He's barking about something.
He is barking, and it's holding on Lovington. And so Portales, it's a 10-yard penalty, and so Portales going to choose to re-kick it. And so Lovington with their 7th penalty for 70 yards. And Portales now, instead of facing a 4th down and 21 or 20, going to have 4th down and 10, and 4th down and 9, because it happened right in front. And so
Coach Bailey turned around and walked back to the sideline saying, defense, defense, defense.
So 4th down and 9 after the penalty. Hamilton out of the shadow of his own end zone. Hamilton waits for it, tries the hard count, not going to get it. So he'll come over and he'll put the boot into it. That one off the side of the foot just a little bit. It's going to bounce, goes sideways, and
worse than the other.
Now it takes a Lovington bounce, and so it'll be down at the 40. As bringing that one down was Declan Martin and also Thomas Salgado. And so a little gamesmanship by Coach Ramirez bites him, as it's going to cost him about 6 yards. And Lovington will have it 1st and 10 from the Ram 40.
Yep, and 9:35 left in this third quarter. All of a sudden, it feels like this game's taken a long time.
And so now, it started at 8 o'clock last night.
Yeah,
so
basically.
And it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. So So Lovington leads by 3, 15-12, 9.5, as Dawn mentioned, to go here in the third. Twins left, Twins right for the Wildcats, their first possession of the second half. Keeping it himself, Gutierrez from the Wildcat. He's going to cross to the 35-yard line before he is sandwiched inside a couple of Rams there, that being Albert Garcia and also Thomas Salgado. 5-yard gain on the keeper for Gutierrez running the Wildcat. So on a 2nd down and 5. And Gutierrez is going to stay in as the quarterback here.
Okay,
Spins Twins to the left, Twins to the right. Diaz is the back with Jaden. Jaden back to pass, looks right, throws left, and has it, and complete to Elijah Rivero across the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard completion to Rivero and move the chains. First down Wildcats, they're 6th of the ball game.
You have the feeling that play has been rehearsed and practiced a number of times. Lovington has kept that in their back pocket to be able to whip that out when they need it, and they executed perfectly on that.
And so now Jaden Gutierrez is going to come over and bring the play in from the sideline.
And the line giving them plenty of time to execute that. I mean,
and I did see Gutierrez warming up at quarterback, and Allen's there on the sideline. Still has the helmet on, but Gutierrez running the O. Fake the handoff. Jaden keeps it himself. Huge hole up the middle. He's across the 25 to the 20. Going for the corner to the 10 to the 5. Put 6 on the board. Touchdown Wildcats. Jaden Gutierrez from 29 yards out, and the Cats have answered the bell and go up 21-12 here in the third.
Love that unexpected play. You don't see it coming, and then they executed it so well on both of those plays. Amazing.
Good job, and a huge hole opened up on the line, which let Gutierrez on the keeper go free. So now Caleb Aranda on for the point after. Wildcats going to try and make this a 10-point ball game with 8:35 remaining here in the first half. Good snap. The hold is good. Rivero puts it down, and Aranda bangs it through almost to Tatum. And with 8:35 remaining here in the third quarter, Lovington 22, Portales 12. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Lovington Wildcat fans, are you ready for the battle? For all your BOP nipple ups and BOP testing, call Battle Energy. Battle Energy is also providing safety training, no matter where you need it. Battle does on-site or mobile training. Call today at 575-942-9472 for the company that's ready to go to battle with you. Battle Energy proudly supports all Lovington and Lee County athletics. It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
Jaden Gutierrez takes over as the quarterback and has a keeper from 29 yards out. And then the point after by Caleb Aranda is good, and the Wildcats go up by 10, 22-12. High above Wildcat Stadium, I'm TJ Miracle. Dawn Morgan patrolling the blue turf of Brian Urlacher Field. And Braden Cooper running our camera here this afternoon. So new quarterback, new spark for the Cats as Caleb will put the foot into it, and they're not even going to attempt it. They're just going to watch that one go through the back of the end zone. 1st and 10 for Portales from the 20.
You know, I like that. They require the Lovington special teams to finish that play and to run for the end zone. If Caleb's, boots it into the end zone, they require that. And I just feel that this team is energized now. And of course, coming off of a touchdown, you expect that. They've got to keep it rolling. They've got to keep the energy and that momentum going and keep the upper hand here.
So Lee back out there as the Rams now trail by 10 with 8:35 remaining here in the third. Lee rolls to the left, looks, pressured, and he's going to be sacked back at the 11-yard line. Coming around was Kyler Reeves, and it'll be a 9-yard sack for Kyler Reeves as he came through, and nothing Lee could do. 4th sack of the ball game.
And so we focus a lot on what's short, what needs to be done, what's not as good. Sometimes we forget to give kudos. Kyler Reeves has had a heck of a game, been playing very well, and a lot of the Cats are out there doing yeoman's work and sometimes not getting recognized. But man, big plays on the D by Kyler Reeves definitely kept Lovington in it.
7-yard sack, so 2nd down and 17. Split backs in the backfield this time with Lee. Hand it off, fake the handoff. He'll keep it himself. And on the design quarterback keeper, he's going to be swarmed inside the 10 and dropped. It was Joaquin Vasquez in there. And also that is number 55, Buford Johnson, who brings him down. And so he's going to go, that'll be a 7-yard loss. And so negative 30 in the books for Lee. That is not a sack because it was a design quarterback run, but it's just a big loss.
And I maintain that this success, this offensive success and that score was a direct result of the defense setting up, the defense staying strong. And
I think you're right. So on a 3rd down and 22 to go now, Lee with it as Vasquez flinches but doesn't cross the line. Single back in the backfield, of course, is going to be Segovia. They'll hand it to Segovia, and he comes up the middle, tries to bounce it to the outside, and gets back to the 10-yard line before big number 59, Alex Rivera, brings him down. It'll be a 2-yard gain for Slade Segovia, and so now it'll be 4th down and 20. It'll be punt time to go for the Rams.
And you not only have to see the play and read the play, but then you've got to pursue. You've got to do your job. You've got to have execution to completely make the stop like Lovington has done. So
and
I think they're on a roll now.
noticed that the wind has shifted. It's coming more out of the west now. Of course, we are expecting more storms later this afternoon. And we've still got 6:29 to go in the 3rd of this one. Lovington up by 10. Hamilton in the Lovington end zone gets it off before it can be blocked, and it'll take a Portales bounce at the 40, and then it'll take a Lovington bounce at the 45 and go to the 44-yard line. Brought down by Martin, and so Lovington will have it inside Ram territory once again. And you got a feeling and you got to think that maybe if Lovington can keep the spark going here, they could turn this, if not into a runaway, then at least make it to where they can breathe a bit.
Yeah, momentum. They've grabbed it. Now they need to keep it.
And they're going to keep Jaden Gutierrez in as the quarterback. So Jaden will stay in at the QB position, taking over for the starter, Justin Allen.
That's not a knock against Justin Allen, but we said they needed to try something different. They needed to figure out something to spark them up. This is what has happened.
Going to do a stack back on the left side, and that'll be another bad snap and having to go all the way through it. They tried the Wildcat, didn't work. Picked up by Elijah Rivero, but he's going to be dropped back inside Wildcat territory at the 44-yard line, so that's 6 and 6. That's a 12-yard loss for Elijah Rivero on a bad snap. They tried a Wildcat snap, and yeah, I think if you're Coach Bailey, you take that one out of the playbook, wad it up, and then throw it in the garbage can, never to do it again. 2nd down and 22 for the Cats.
All right, a little bit of a setback, but if they can keep that energy, they can keep moving. They really need to score again on this drive.
Yeah, I think that is going to be quite important. Only up by 10, and Portales is not going to go away. So now they go with a little more conventional look. Diaz is the lone back with Gutierrez. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Good snap this time. Jaden rolls to the right, looks downfield, comes across the middle, and overthrows his intended target, looking for Alex Kamey. And so incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 22.
All of a sudden, this conversion is super important. They've got to get the job done here.
So 5:21, clock stops on the incomplete pass, and Justin Allen going to bring the play in from the line. So going to go with a little bit stronger arm. And, of course, Gutierrez being your number 1 receiver. They're going to put him in the slot on the right side. Portales shows blitz. Allen handles the low snap, comes near side, looks, fires, comes across his body right into the middle of the field, and that one is going to be picked off. 2nd INT of the game, and right into the hands of number 8, Thomas Salgado. So the 2nd INT for Allen, and again, he threw it where there were no Wildcats, got the underneath man, and so the 4th turnover of the ball game for the Wildcats. Portales leading in that category 4-2.
Now it's going to be on the shoulders of the defense once again. They're going to have to keep their energy up. They're going to have to make the stops here or force a turnover. Get that ball back.
So Lee will step out with twins to the left and a stack to the right side. And a late player checking in is Elijah Rivero, and that's going to cause Coach Bailey to have to call timeout. So we've got 5:11 to go here in this third quarter. Lovington 22, Portales 12. We'll be back. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Listen up, Oil Patch. Aftermath Hot Oil Services is here for you. No matter what the conditions, they'll always do what it takes to get the job done. You want Aftermath on your location for hot oilers, back trucks, roustabouts, steam pressure washers, and back dragging. Just to name a few of the jobs they can do for you. These guys don't stop. Call Dominic at Aftermath Hot Oil Services 575-200-4902 for service that never quits. 575-200-4902. Aftermath Hot Oil Services.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items.
And we're back as that 1 minute timeout turned into about a 29-second timeout. So out of the Wildcat timeout, Portales football from their own 41-yard line. Lovington shows blitz. Rolling around is Lee, keeps it himself. He has a hole up the middle, across the 45 to the 50 into Wildcat territory, down to the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12, and it'll be enough to move the chains. 5th first down for Portales, now into Lovington territory.
Yeah, trying to kick that ball back into Lovington possession is going to work a lot better the closer they are to Lovington territory or within it. So, yeah, they've got to really make that stop or turn it over.
So for the Wildcats now, or for the Rams, I should say, it'll be first down and 10. They're going to split trips to the left, twins to the right, and we actually have a Lovington trainer on the field crossing behind the play. So going over to check on a Portales Ram that's on the bench and not looking too comfortable. The trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Portales first and 10 inside Lovington territory. Fake the handoff. Lee steps up in the pocket. Hit as he lets it fly. He's got a man wide open. That is Bamford at the 10 to the 5 and into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown. 47 yards to... That is Jacoby Bamforth, and so Bamforth makes up for the fumble earlier with a 47-yard touchdown grab, and we are back to a 4-point ball game. The big play once again going to bite the Wildcats.
Just blown coverage, wide open, and a heck of a throw. Got to give credit where credit's due. The throw was a good one. Reception was right on target. So, unfortunately, we're saying that for the wrong team.
Yes, we are. So now the point after is Lee will go for 2 to try to get this to a 2-point game. Throws right and throws it behind all of his receivers. So with 4:46 to go here in the third, we got a ball game. Lovington 22, Portales 18. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Lovington Municipal Schools welcomes everyone back. Students, faculty, staff, and parents. This year, show your Wildcat spirit by supporting Lovington students and their activities. While the students are working hard on their games and grades, Lovington schools are working hard for your students and parents. They have a great website full of helpful information to keep you up to date. Check out lovingtonschools.net and stay up to date with Lovington school activities and announcements. And go Cats!
47 yards from Lee to Bamforth. The point after is no good, and the Wildcats and the Rams stay locked in mortal combat. 22-18, Lovington in the lead. Now it's going to be up to the Wildcats to see if they can respond. Off of the foot of Clayton Hamilton. He'll be kicking it from the left to the right. That is north to south from our perspective. And it'll be a squibber on the turf off the bounce. Picked up by Gutierrez. Brings it up at the 25 to the 30. Stiff arms a man. 35 to the 40. Get to the sideline to the 50. To the 40. One man to beat. And Hamilton knocks him out at the 32-yard line. So a big return from Jaden Gutierrez. And he says, all right, we'll get us right where we need to be. Now let's go get that one back.
That's exactly that. That's the attitude and the execution that Lovington needs to just punch Portales right back in the mouth.
Yep, sometimes that's what you got to do when you get punched in the face, punch them right back.
Man, it really helps, though. Portales not making these points after, that's putting some important distance on the board between the two.
Yeah, right now that is a big difference in the ball game. 3 points difference, as a matter of fact. And Lovington with a 2-point conversion, and that one will be a squibber. And Gutierrez, call the face mask. They will. As flags fly from everywhere as Gutierrez got...
I seen that one coming.
Yeah, Gutierrez got grabbed, and somebody needs to tell Andre Alvarado, and I said this last night about a Lovington face mask. It is not a handle. It is not supposed to be, as Coach Ramirez is going to come out, and he's going to bark about that face mask. I'm sorry. The face mask is there to protect the face, not there to be used as a tackle handle. So that should be the 10-yard variety.
Yeah, the helmet is not a frying pan, and you're not cooking up some eggs.
Whoa, what? Personal foul Lovington,
What?
personal foul Portales, and so we'll wave it off like it never even happened, and we'll replay first down.
Well, I think obviously some things getting said. A reaction.
And Coach Bailey asking, what did we do? What happened? And so they call personal foul Lovington. They call personal foul on Portales, and then they call a personal foul face mask on Portales. 2 after the play personal fouls offset, and then the 15-yarder on Portales. So now Lovington will have it from the 22-yard line, first down and 10, just a 10-yarder, pardon me. And so Lovington football, and that'll be Diaz up to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2 on the play for Diaz. And so that'll bring up a second down and 8 for the Wildcats. 4:15 remaining here in this third quarter. Lovington with a 4-point lead, 22-18. As we mentioned, the difference, Lovington has gotten all of their points after. Portales has gotten none of them.
4-point spread that could be crucial as we get closer to the end of this game.
As Allen back in the ball game, low snap, Justin with it. Now he's going to come left side, crosses the 20, puts the shoulder down, almost loses the football. As trying to strip it away was Andrew Lozano. It'll be a pickup of 3, and we'll have a flag come in. Flags everywhere.
I would imagine that's.
I think we're probably going to have a personal foul in the pile
that
there.
That was late enough. Had to have been some language
and we will
comments.
have personal foul on Lovington, and so it'll be a 15-yarder against the Wildcats. That'll be their 8th penalty for 85 yards, and so it goes from 2nd and 8, and so they're going to move it back, and you should have second down and about, my math is about 23, yeah. And the faithful in attendance not happy about the calls.
No, they're
and
thinking
Coach
that
Bailey not happy either. He's overgiven the Whitecap an earful.
I think the fans in the stands think that there's some referee nitpicking going on, and that's a certain amount of that that's it's got to be.
And Coach Bailey's asking who did it.
He's saying, well, if there's an infraction and you can't put a number to it, then we have a problem.
Yeah. And so they're still arguing over there. As Josh just dejectedly puts his headset back on. And so the official going to come over, and he's going to have a word with a couple of the linemen over there about something they're doing. So it's a 15-yard penalty. And so that'll move them back outside the 30 to the 32-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 12, so it'll be second down and 20 for the Wildcats.
And really important for Lovington to answer now, because you get the feeling that the teams are going to be trading touchdowns, trading scores here, trying to, if both of them get that rhythm going again. Lovington needs to pick the momentum back up right now. They've shot themselves in the foot, and they've got to overcome that.
Yes, they do. And so Allen will stay in at the quarterback position. Deep back behind him is Diaz. Everybody in tight. Now they'll shift everybody from the right to the left. Allen waits, gets it, Pitches it. Diaz on the sweep left side across the 30. Gets
Nice.
over a man to the 20. Cuts it back inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. Needed 20. Going to wind up with 19. And now it's a much more manageable 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Clayt Hamilton of the Portales almost had him. He reached out, and Clayt thought he had stopped him, but Diaz spun away, stayed in bounds, and tiptoed down the sidelines for a nice gain. It's exactly the kind of play that Lovington needed right now.
So now it'll be 4th down and 1. I thought it was 3rd and 1. It was 4th and 1 because the personal foul happened after the play. It's a loss of down. And so Lovington going to send the special teams on. They're going to attempt the field goal up by 4, try and make it 7. 14 seconds on the play clock. It'll be a 30-yard attempt here for Caleb Aranda.
I tell you what, if he boots it through like he did the point after.
They got to move because we're down to 4 to 3
Quick.
to 2 to 1. And the snap off, it's low, but it's handled by Rivero. And
good.
Caleb puts it up and through the uprights. Good. And with 2:41 to go, a 30-yard field goal for Caleb Aranda makes it Lovington 25, Portales 18. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff
Listen
at Stone
up.
Oilfield
B&B
Services.
Rentals and Services has got dumpsters. Can you believe it? 30 and 40-yard dumpsters. These guys are a contractor's dream. B&B Rentals has light plants, porta-john trash trailer combos, office trailers, emergency and recovery trailers. Conveniently located in Lovington, B&B can serve you anywhere in Lee County and the surrounding area. Find B&B Rentals LLC on social media, and if you can remember the number, call 396-1722. B&B Rentals and Services.
The Wildcats survive some penalties and wind up with a 30-yard field goal by Caleb Aranda to go up by 7, 25-18. Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium here in Lovington.
I think Coach was very smart to just take that situation and make some points out of it. That's taking a skunk and making a bouquet of flowers out of it.
And that's what they did here. So 2:43 to go in the 3rd. Lovington now up by a touchdown, but Portales with some offensive and now defensive momentum going their way. So Caleb will kick it away.
And Caleb has really been feeling it last night and tonight. He's had some big boots. Man, it was a bullet of a point after that he did earlier in the game.
Yes, it was. So he will come up to it, and it's a high end-over-ender, and Portales' deep men just going to watch it go through the back of the end zone. And so every time that Caleb has kicked it off last night and today, it's gone through the end zone. 1st and 10 for the Rams at the 20-yard line. I'm TJ Miracle, high above Wildcat Stadium. Don Morgan down on the famous blue turf of Brian Urlacher Field. Braden Cooper running our camera. Tiff and Evie keeping an eye on things back at One Radio Square. So the Cats in the lead by 7, 25-18. As Lee will step back out onto the blue turf with his team trailing by 7. So he'll come out with a 4-receiver set. Lovington with just 3 men on the line. 4 linebackers. Lee keeps it himself, is going to be hit behind the line, but gets forward back to the original line of scrimmage as Jaden Garcia first to put the helmet on him, and then Kyler Reeves coming in to help clean up. It'll be no gain for Lee. 12 carries, negative 18 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rams. As they'll come it out and bring it out. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, a 4-receiver set. Segovia on the left shoulder of Lee. Lee pump faked left, goes left, and overthrows his target. Kind of let him a little bit too far. Was trying to get John Bamforth over there, but nothing doing. Incomplete.
Terrell was in the neighborhood.
182 through the air for Kingston Lee with a couple of touchdowns, no INTs. So 3rd down and 10, 2:08 to go here in the 3rd. Lovington clinging to a 7-point lead, 25-18 the score. So now a 4-receiver set. Closer in on the right side. Coming to the right side is Lee. Getting through and putting the hand on him as trying to get him through. He's got
that was 55.
Lee's got to be careful as Buford
Johnson.
Hunson goes down, and he's not feeling good, but he will get the pass defense incomplete.
That's Rivera, not Johnson.
So Rivera. And you hate to see that because Alex Rivera, of course, has gotten some good D1 looks and some offers, and so you hope he's all right. And so an injury timeout from here at Wildcat Stadium, 1:59 remaining here in the third. Lovington 25, Portales 18. Injury timeout. We'll be back as Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Honest, trustworthy. Man Welding gives you confidence you made the right decision. Jimmy Carter and his exceptional Man Welding team support Wildcat Athletics and the Lovington School. Man Welding is your local welding company. Big jobs or small jobs, call Man Welding 396-4540. Any welding job, any welding question, call 396-4540. Together, we'll fabricate the future. You made the right decision. You called Man Welding. Man up.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community, so bank with trusted partners you know.
And back here as the injury timeout comes to an end as Rivera is up, and he's up under his own power. I think maybe getting the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. He twisted and ended up with weight on him. I mean, he's the one who caused that play, but he ended up with getting the worst end of it.
So, and now we'll have a false start on Portales. Is looking to jump the count was Jaden Garcia. And so it'll be, and Portales getting a little antsy about it. That'll be Portales' sixth penalty for 60 yards. So it'll go from 4th and 10 to 4th and 15. And now Lovington says, all right, we're going to send Jaden back deep to receive this one. If Hamilton will give him anything to handle. Hamilton is a knuckleballer when it comes to his punts. So back deep to receive is Jaden Gutierrez. He'll get to it and kick it away. This is a much better punt, but Jaden will field it at the 45. Brings it across, gets a block to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. Drags a couple of Rams with him inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. And so a good return for Jaden Gutierrez, and the Wildcats are looking to strike again with 1:48 to go here in the third. A very long third quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say that a minute ago. Is it just me, or does it feel like this quarter has been half of a game long?
It does seem to be dragging just a bit.
Man, Lovington has a gift. They have it on the 28-yard line. I mean, deep in their own territory.
Deep in Ram territory, yeah.
Not their own, but yeah, Ram territory. A stone's throw away from the red zone, so yeah.
So Rivero brings the play in and then comes out. And so it'll be Allen in at the quarterback position. Gutierrez in the slot on the left side. Handed off to Diaz. He brings it left, has room across the 25, and draws contact with Aiden Rodriguez. Yep. And Diaz going to be down at the 21-yard line. It'll be a 7-yard gain for Zach. 13 carries, 70 yards for Diaz. And it'll be 2nd down and 3. 90 seconds to go here in the third. Lovington leading by a touchdown and a point after, 25-18, the 7-point lead.
Well, I really like the way Diaz has stepped up. He's got quickness, but he also has speed. They're two different things, and he's using both to his advantage, and Lovington has really benefited from that.
3 receivers set this time. They'll have a tight end on the right side. Low snap. Allen has to pick it up off the turf. Throws it to Rivero on the wide receiver screen. He's inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. 9 yards, Allen to Rivero, and move the chains. First down, Lovington. 100, and sorry, Dawn, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Slade Segovia got to him first, but not before Lovington got the first down.
126 through the air for Justin Allen. 132 when you put Allen and Gutierrez together.
Lovington just needs to finish out this drive, punch it in.
From the 13-yard line, first down and 10, Wildcats up by 7. 45 minutes to go and a late check-in. Chase Terrell into the huddle. And now Lovington will bring it on up to the line. Bunch them all tight on the right side. Now shift everybody over to the left, including Diaz. And a bad snap, but I think off the pop, but it'll be a false start on Lovington, and that's not a bad thing at all.
Exactly. I was about to. You took the words out of my mouth.
And actually, it'll be offsides. Oh, delay of game. Good eye, Braden.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover. Wasn't a turnover because that ball had popped up.
Yeah, it popped up and into the hands of Diaz. So it'll go to being first down and 15 now from the 18-yard line. Got to get it to the 3, 20 seconds remaining. As Allen going to shift everybody over from the right to the left. Just 10 seconds left on the play clock. Good snap this time. Hand it to Diaz. Brings it right, then gets a hole up the middle. Leads to the 10, cuts it inside, puts the hand down, and is going to be near first down marker. He's going to get 14. It'll be second down. He needed 15. It'll be second down and 1 as we go to the fourth quarter. Lovington 25. The Rams of Portales 18. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
For over 25 years, Eunice Pump and Supply has been more than just a business. They've been a part of the heartbeat of Eunice. From the oil fields to the classrooms, Eunice Pump and Supply is all in backing the athletes, cheering on scholars, and investing in the future of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply takes pride in their hardworking team, their dedication to excellence, and most of all, the youth. Visit Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, and now proudly serving Lovington at 321 North Main. Your hometown partner and a proud supporter of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply, local, loyal, and proud to serve.
It'll be a second down and 1 from the 4-yard line. Lovington deep into Portales territory, leading by 7, 25-18. As we start this fourth quarter, I'm TJ Miracle, high above Wildcat Stadium. Don Morgan patrols the blue turf. Braden Cooper running our camera. Tiff and Evie keeping an eye on things back at One Radio Square. So on a second down and 1, Lovington knocking on the door as we start this fourth quarter. Good snap. Allen with it. Gives it to Diaz into the end zone. 6 on the board. Touchdown Wildcats. Takes it over the guard and into the house from 4 yards out on a second down and 1. And Zach Diaz has his second touchdown of the ball game.
There's good news. Rivera's back out there.
And that is good news. So Lovington will put the lead up to 13 here, Dawn, and the point after to come.
You know what Allen did most of that third quarter? He was on the sideline practicing snaps with the center.
All right, probably a good idea. So out of the hold of Rivera, Elijah waiting on it, and oh yeah, movement everywhere. So that'll move back 5 yards on the Wildcats. No, it'll actually be offsides on Portales. I thought they were going to get one of the Cats. That was Kevin Padilla over on the right side, but instead it'll be a half the distance penalty on Portales. I hate writing those down, but I have to be statistically accurate because it's a 1-yard penalty. And so often when that happens, though, Lovington will opt to go for 2, leading 31-18 and literally 1 second gone here in this fourth quarter. Trying to get up by 2 touchdowns, and they will attempt the extra point, and will get it as that one sails through. So 32-18, the Wildcats up by 14, and 1 second gone here in the fourth quarter. We'll just keep it right here. Say a big thanks to Aftermath Auto Oil, Bob's Thriftway, Lovington Schools, Stone Oilfield Services, B&B Rentals, Man Welding, the First American Bank of Lovington, Eunice Pump and Supply, Battle Energy, and Lovington Auto Supply Napa, making it possible for us to bring you Wildcat football here on Lovington Sports YouTube and on HobbsAmerica.com. Of course, please support those businesses that support those kids and make sure that we never, ever have to charge you to watch your kids and your teams play and never have to beg you for donations either. Unfortunately, too many of our cohorts do charge you or beg for donations, but we don't have to do that thanks to the great support of those sponsors you see there at the bottom of your screen, and you hear their ads right here. So Lovington now up by 14, and I think it's going to be hang-on time here because you know Portales is going to be loaded for, I would say loaded for bear, but I've got to think loaded for cat would be more accurate. And we've still got a whole quarter to play.
Yeah, there's a lot of football left. And Lovington is up, and that's a great thing. But we've seen Portales came to play last night. They came to play today. And Lovington has to keep the momentum up. They can't rest on their laurels and let up. They've got to continue to press.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Yep.
And so it'll be Aranda to tee it up at the north 40 and kick it to the south. And he'll put the foot into it, and it's a high end over-ender, and that one will be playable as Bamforth will get it back at the 4, brings it out to the 10, looking for some room to the 15, to the 20, out to the 25-yard line before Lovington finally swarms him under. This will be the best starting field position off of a kickoff for the Rams that they've had in this ball game. So now it'll be first down and 10 from the 25 for Portales. Of course, next up for the Wildcats next Friday night, right back here at the friendly confines. It'll be a battle of the blues as the Carlsbad Cavemen into town. Can't worry about that one yet, though. Got to worry about the team in red and white in front of you. So Lee will bring him back out. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right, and a 4-receiver set. Rolling to the left side, Lee tossing and in and out of the hands of Bamforth, and he had to be hearing footsteps as Chase Terrell was bearing down on him extremely quickly, incomplete, and it'll be second down and 10 for Portales.
And Terrell is one of the guys on the line who's played extremely well today, playing hard. These guys in there, we don't talk enough sometimes about some of the players who are doing offense and defense, and on a hot day like today, they're gassed even more than they would be.
So Terrell from his end or linebacker position. Lovington will put 3 men on the line, and they'll actually put Terrell this time out as a defensive back, as a cornerback on one of the receivers, as Lee takes the snap and going through. He'll complete that one to Segovia, but a good job right at the point of contact. It'll be a completion, but it'll be for -5 yards, and so now it'll be 3rd and 15 for Portales. So now on a 3rd down and 14 to go. And Don, just heads up, I'm showing 1 bar left on your battery.
All right, thanks.
So now it'll be a 3-receiver set. Make that a 4-receiver set. Put a man in motion from the right to the left. That's Bamforth. Lee waits on it with 3rd down and 15. Pressure comes. Gets away from it, rolls right, directs traffic, just going to have to tuck it, take it himself, and draws contact there with Kyler Reeves. He's going to get the 5 back that they lost just a minute ago, but Reeves said, "You are not getting past me." And so now it'll be 4th down and 10. It'll be punt time for the Rams with 10:44 to go here in the ball game. Thanks for being with us as the Rams drive kind of sputtering out as Jaden Gutierrez will check into the ball game. He'll go in for Carter Moore. And Lovington going to send a couple of guys back to receive as you've got Gutierrez back and Rivero back. So speed and quickness and a little bit of shiftiness back. Now Hamilton to punt. A little bit high, but he gets it, and then sidewinders that one over to Elijah. He'll pick it up at the Wildcat 45. Brings it back to the near side. Gets a block from Gutierrez. He's across the 40 to the 30 to the 20, 15, 10, 5. 1 man to beat. Put 6 on the board. Touchdown Wildcats. It'll be a 60-yard punt return to the house. No flags on the field. And so Elijah Rivero takes it 60 yards, winds up running about 75 because of the way he came, but a special teams touchdown. And so the Cats now up 38-18. Wow. And that was all sprung there by Gutierrez and the big block that he put on. So the punt return touchdown. And the Wildcats, just like that, trying to make it a 3-score ball game with 9:56 to go here in the 3rd. And so a good block again. That one set up by Gutierrez as Rivero brought it on the end around. Snap is a little high. Elijah gets it down, and Caleb puts it through. 9:56 to go in the ball game. Lovington 39, Portales 18. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
Elijah Rivero will take a punt from Clayt Hamilton and run it back 60 yards to the house for the Wildcat touchdown. The point after is good. And, Dawn, you're right down there. I know you were working technology down there, but there was another couple of big blocks down the field that helped Elijah spring through and get all the way to the house there, other than the one that I caught right at the point of contact.
I've been changing out batteries on my microphone, so I just as that happened, I was still on the bench here trying to put fresh batteries in. The first set didn't go, so I had to dig for the second set to get them in.
I think Peyton Atwood was one of the ones who laid down one of those blocks downfield, but a good job by the special teams. We talked about special teams, and they came up big right there. So 9:56 to go as Lovington is now spread it back up to their biggest lead of the ball game, 39-18, a 21-point lead. So Aranda ready to kick it away. As Caleb will come up to it on the north 40 and boot it south. High end over ender, and that one is going to be fielded by Bamforth at the goal line. Brings it out across the 5 to the 10. Gets a block, cuts it back across the 15 to the 25 to the 26-yard line before he is knifed down. And coming out of the bottom of the pile for the Wildcats is Jeremiah Caballero, number 33. And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Portales will take back over with the 3-score deficit and not a lot of time to come back. On a warm Saturday afternoon as we click towards 4 o'clock. Again, this game has taken a while. 3+ quarters, going on 2 hours now. As Lee with it, looks to the left, pumps left, now rolls right. Gonna have to tuck it, take it himself, and boom, bang, big collision with Mayan Bustillos. So no gain for Kingston Lee, and Bustillos made him pay for that no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Mien was ready and waiting for it. He planted his feet, and then he put a big shoulder into him. You could hear it up from it was across the sidelines on the other side. You could hear that big pop over here.
So 2nd down and 10, stayed in bounds. Clock keeps moving, 9:24 remaining in the ball game. 39-18, Lovington in the lead, looking for their first win of the season. Send a man in motion. They'll settle him in on the right side. Hand it off to Segovia. And he'll just go across the line and fall forward for about a yard, maybe 2. And they'll give him a yard, 88 yards rushing for Slade Segovia, and it'll be 3rd and 9 now. Clock continues to move. Good job inside by the Wildcat interior lineman, Kevin Reyes Padilla on the stop.
21 points up over Portales. Every tick-tock means
Lovington shows blitz. They'll throw the wide receiver screen coming near side to Bamforth. He gets a good block, a little screen across the 30 to the 31-yard line before coming around to get him. Pardon me, that's Keita. And so to the 31, that'll be a 5-yard pickup to Keita, his 2nd catch of the ball game. And so now it'll be 4th down and 5, and punt time once again for Portales. Watch for the fake here because Portales knows that time is ticking.
Yep, we're down and into almost just 8 minutes left to play in this game, and that's that's a lot of time in football. But when you're behind 21 points, every second counts.
And you've got a 4th down and 5 to go, and so you may very well see the fake here. As Hamilton waits on it, and nope, he will just boot it away. And that one going to get over the head of everybody, and Rivero going to decide to let it bounce, and it takes a big Portales bounce. It'll go out at the 20-yard line, so that's a 50-yard punt. Nice job there by Hamilton. Lovington will have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And if you are the Wildcats here, Dawn, do you think about slowing it down, or do you want to make sure that there's no question at all this game is yours and keep your foot on it here?
I think if you ask Coach Bailey, he's going to say, my team works best when we're active, when we're moving, when we've got energy, and when we're hungry and we're on the prowl. And I think he's going to keep the Cats
Keep
going.
the foot on the gas.
Keep the foot on the gas. Exactly right. Don't slow it down. Don't slow it up. Lovington just does not operate as well in that slow control ball mode.
Trips to the right side, single receiver to the left from the 20-yard line inside Wildcat territory. And everybody moving as Portales got to jumping and dancing and shifting around, and it got Lovington's offensive line just a little bit discombobulated. 9th penalty of the afternoon for 95 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15 for the Cats, moving back to their own 15. You can't fall for those spins and stunts right there. Just listen for what your quarterback's doing, and don't worry about the other guys. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, same format once again. Portales shows blitz, backs out of it, hand it off, and coming around, that's going to be Mendeville, and he's going to cross out across the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Jonathan showing some good speed there. He also cut around a couple of possible blocks. He got away from them with some good speed, stepped around them, and got some good forward progress on that.
13 yards for Mendeville, and so it'll be a 2nd down and about 6. Mendeville making up for the fumble earlier. And now Diaz will be back in. 4 receiver set. Nope, that'll be Mendeville again, and he gets plumped in the backfield and plunked down and knocked down back at the 20.
And that was Trip Hamilton on the stop there.
So that'll be a 7-yard loss as Hamilton, as you mentioned, coming through. And so now it'll be 3rd down and a long 9 for the Wildcats. As Lovington trying the same play on back-to-back times. Worked good once, didn't work the second time.
Yeah, you can fool them once. Sometimes you can't fool them twice.
And they certainly didn't that time. Lovington with 15 seconds on the play clock. 6:35 remaining in the ball game. And they will leave Mendeville in as the running back. Good snap. Fake the handoff. Allen rolls near side, tossing it. Gets Kyler Reeves across the 30 to the 35 and tippy toes and steps out at around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice.
It'll be good for 16 yards to Kyler Reeves, his first catch of the night, and move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats.
Yeah, and he did a nice job. He thought, you know what, I'm not sure I stepped out, so I'm going to keep running. It's kind of like hitting a ball in baseball, and you go ahead and run it out. You don't know whether it's going to go call fair or foul, but you run it out, and he certainly did. Now they call it, out, but he still had enough for the 1st down, so nice work.
Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Allen is the quarterback. High snap, handles it, hands it off to Mendeville. Has a hole. He's across the 40 to the 45. Draws contact and is going to be near midfield as he just ran over Andrew Lozano.
No.
But, we've got fighting behind the play.
Oh, boy. 23 and hour 77. That's Leyba, and there
Donovan
number 23.
Lusetto, we're getting into it, and Lusetto was basically riding the pony down there. You hate to see that because that's probably going to wipe out a 10-yard gain by Mendeville.
They're going to call it on Portales, though.
So it'll be 10 yards from the spot, or rather from the end of the run, and so 15 yards on Portales. It's never the first guy they get, it's always the second. 75 penalty yards on 8 accepted penalties for Portales. So Lovington into Portales territory with 5.5 minutes to go and trying to put the exclamation point on this one. Twins left, Twins to the right. Good snap. Hand it off, coming to the near side. Mendeville again. He gets across a man. He's into the secondary to the 30, to the 25, and down to the 20-yard line.
There's laundry, though.
18 yards. Move the chains. 1st down, Cats. But, yep, this one's coming back. I bet we've got a hold on the near side. And it will be holding on Lovington. So 105 penalty yards now on the Wildcats, and it wipes out a good run there by Mendeville.
As his teammates on the line are saying, yeah, way to go, Johnny. He's hello, Mr. Mendeville. Where's he been? This is good to see.
Don't know where Zach Diaz is, though. I don't see him down on the sideline. You certainly hope he's okay.
He did take a couple of big hits, and he put on a big shoulder and helmet hit on that play way across the sidelines. So remember, and
he did.
And you know what? We haven't seen a lot, so they may just be shaking things off and taking it easy and.
So the 10-yard holding penalty makes it first down and 14. Stepping up is Allen, has to roll. Goes left, tucks it, takes it himself. Across the 40 to the 35. Still on his feet after he plows one of the Rams. That was Andrew Lucero over there. Winds up with about another 5-6 yards. Is going to be very close to first down yardage. It's going to win it on the spot. Yep, he needed 14. He gets 16 and moved the chains. First down Cats. Their 10th first down of the ball game.
Wow, he really did a nice recovery off of that. End up with a great run. And you know what? Showed a lot of guts running right into trouble. And, that gets a lot of respect, not only from the fans, but from your team.
From the 31-yard line, Wildcats on the march, leading by 21. Trying to put this one completely out of reach. Twins left, Twins right. High snap, hand it to Mendeville. Goes left side. Breaks through the first tackle, but then Segovia gets him at the 30. It'll be good for a pickup of 1 for Mendeville. And so it'll be second down and 9, but it does keep the clock running.
Yep, and, 4:40 left to go in this game.
A lot can still happen. Portales still with all 3 timeouts, but Lovington can get a score here. I think it puts it out of reach. Portales has not shown the ability to move that quickly. Twins to the left, Twins to the right. Good snap this time, and false start on the Wildcats. 115 penalty yards now.
Lovington's just a little too anxious to get down there and get that another score on the board.
So it'll be a second down and 14 now, moving back to the 35-yard line. So the Wildcats trying to get their first win of the season here this afternoon. Of course, this game started at 8 o'clock last night, was postponed due to lightning. So we wind up having to play today at Portales. At one point, they got this one down to just a 3-point ball game. But the Wildcats have battled back. Make the handoff to Mendeville, keeping it himself is Allen, and he's back to the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 for Allen, third down and 10.
Again, showed some guts, got hit, but kept on running, make forward progress, got another 2-3 yards out of that.
Mendeville going to come out on this one. So he'll head to the sideline to the appreciation of his teammates. So now it'll be third down and 10. Clock continues to move with 3:30 remaining. Cats up by 21. So from the 30-yard line. And we will have, I think, Diaz back in the ball game. Nope, that's Bustillos. And pressured and throwing it back across his body. Dangerous pass there by Allen as he was getting slung around like a rag doll by Donovan Lucero. And coming back to keep that from being an intentional grounding was Bustillos. So it'll be incomplete, and it'll be fourth down and 10 for the Wildcats. And the Cats going to send the field goal unit on. Aranda's got the leg for it, but you're going to have a good snap here. You're looking at about a 50-yard attempt here for Lovington.
Right, because they're set up. The ball's on the 31.
That's, yeah, which means they're going to put down the mark at the 38, which means a 48-yard field goal attempt for Aranda out of the hold of Elijah Rivero. So high snap, getting it down. The kick is up, and it is good! 48 yards as Caleb Aranda with his second field goal of the afternoon puts Lovington up by a score of 42-18. So a 48-yard boot for Caleb Aranda. And the Cats do come away with points. We'll be back in 30 seconds as Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Lovington Wildcat fans, are you ready for the battle? For all your BOP nipple ups and BOP testing, call Battle Energy. Battle Energy is also providing safety training, no matter where you need it. Battle does on-site or mobile training. Call today at 575-942-9472 for the company that's ready to go to battle with you. Battle Energy proudly supports all Lovington and Lee County athletics.
When you have a field goal kicker, it is a weapon that you rarely use in the high school sport. I think not used nearly enough. Coach Bailey obviously didn't get that memo from the High School Coaches Association, as he has never been afraid to use the boot of his kicker. And 48 yards later, Caleb Aranda pays it off by banging through his second field goal of the afternoon and giving the Wildcats the 42-18 lead. And why are the teams coming back off the field?
Timeout,
No,
I believe.
A timeout. All right. I didn't see anything signaled there, but.
And maybe it's the refs. I don't know. No, I think it is the timeout. I think it may have been Wildcat timeout. Not sure.
Yeah.
Echoing what you were saying, I was right after he booted that in, I just thought, way to go, Coach, using the talent and the reliability and the consistency that he has shown as your part of your arsenal. And if you've got it, use it. Count on it. Use the circumstances to put points on the board instead of taking all right, we'll turn around, we'll just try to get the ball back and get it next time. No, put some points on. Not everybody and not every team and not every situation calls for. And Aranda has really shown us some stuff in this game.
2 field goals, all of his extra points have been good. So Caleb Aranda proving the worth of the kicker in the ball game.
Sometimes, you got to hand it to coaching. It's real easy to make mistakes coaching, and hindsight, is and everybody's got an opinion about what you do and don't do. But trusting your team to, instead of playing strategy, to hang on to the ball and slow it down, trusting your team to move quickly, to keep going, and then trusting your kicker. They've been good calls today.
Yes, they certainly have. Honda will kick it away, puts the boot into it, the high end over-ender. That one's going to be playable for Bamforth. He gets it back at the 2, brings it out across the 10 to the 15, and then the Turf Monster slips him down across the 20 at the 22-yard line. So an assist to be given on that one by Caballero again. The Turf Monster gets his 8th tackle of the afternoon/night. And so Portales will come out with 3:08 remaining in the ball game, and a big hole to climb out of, a 24-point deficit. Not insurmountable, but they are going to have to score and score quickly.
3:08 left to work with. That's it.
So Lee is the quarterback still. Good snap. Option pitch, and nope, keeps it himself. She flips it on an end around to Bamforth, and he's got a lot of room to run. He's going to take it out across the 35 to near the 40-yard line. 17 yards there for Bamforth, and it'll be a Portales first down.
And you look at the scoreboard and you feel very good as a team looking at that, but you also know you've got to stay in the game. You've got to finish it. And you don't want to just hand Portales a score. They could turn a score, do a turnover. They could make more than just one touchdown if you relax too much here.
17 yards for Bamforth on the end around. Off the fake pitch, hand it off. Segovia comes near side, and then boom, a big hit as Chase Terrell comes through and just says, nope, you may try and cut it back, but not today, sir, as that was picture-perfect tackling. Segovia, a 2-yard gain, but Chase Terrell, if you put proper open field tackle by a linebacker in the dictionary, there's probably a picture of what we just saw.
It was excellent execution. Yeah.
Segovia will come over to the left shoulder of Lee, probably still wondering about that tattoo he just got on his chest. As Lee will roll to the left side, tosses underneath. He's got a man wide open near side. That's Keita across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 9 to Keita. And it'll be his 3rd catch of the day, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Portales, their 8th of the afternoon. Keita 3 catches, 51 yards, 191 through the air for Kingston Lee, and a timeout going to be taken by the Rams with 2:07 remaining in the ball game. Lovington 42, Portales 18. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Listen up, Oil Patch. Aftermath Hot Oil Services is here for you. No matter what the conditions, they'll always do what it takes to get the job done. You want Aftermath on your location for hot oilers, back trucks, roustabouts, steam pressure washers, and back dragging. just to name a few of the jobs they can do for you. These guys don't stop. Call Dominic at Aftermath Hot Oil Services 575-200-4902 for service that never quits. 575-200-4902. Aftermath Hot Oil Services.
And the Wildcats opt to use a timeout here to try and break the momentum of the Rams. 2:15 remaining in the ballgame. Lovington up by 24, but Portales on the march inside Wildcat territory from the Cat 49. Lee rolls right, looks, fires, underthrown, and not trying to intercept that time. Chase Terrell just put the hands out and knocked it away to where no opportunity there for Antonio Bonilla to make the catch. That's what he should have done in the first half. I have a feeling something got said to these defensive backs that said, be aware of the situation and just knock it away, Dawn.
Yeah, I think we talked about that, about, just watch the ball and try to knock it instead of trying to recover it. And, I think the Cats have been doing more of that in this fourth quarter particularly.
And now Lovington going to do some scrambling on the front line. Segovia is the deep back with Lee. Lee waits for it, and he will try the pitch, and that one is on the turf, and they tried the little end-around pitch this time to Andrew Lozano, and he's going to have to eat it back at the 46-yard line. And so Lozano is going to lose 6 yards on the play. And so now it'll be 3rd down and 16 for the Portales Rams.
And the clock's still running. 1:45 left to play in this one.
So Portales with a 3rd and 16. They do still have all 3 timeouts. They'll come with an empty set this time. Trips to the right, Twins to the left. 5 receivers set. Lee with it. 3-step drop. Now pressured. Fires. Wants it all up the seam and overthrows everybody. Carter Moore, the only man who might have had a shot at that, and he's wearing blue and white, not red and white. So incomplete, and it'll be a 4th down and 16. Portales going to go for it. I've got to think here. Lovington would probably be able to go into victory formation here, but they're going to send the punting unit out. I'm a little surprised they're not going to go for it.
Interesting.
And that's really kind of the equivalent of waving the white flag here.
Yeah. Especially when you've got 3 timeouts, and but I think Portales is just saying, well, that's it.
So as we click past 4 o'clock on this Saturday afternoon, game that's been going on for 20 hours now, literally. There was a pretty long postponement as Hamilton will bounce it, and Lovington off of the bounce, picking it up. Rivero coming near side. And so the Cats now up by 30 after the second punt return of the ball game for Rivero.
And that just comes with you know what? You're not content to just do the obvious and take the results. You're looking for, wait a minute, it's the extra. The ball's still alive. It's not dead.
So the Wildcats will have a new kicker in the ball game. That is Kaysen Alexander.
New holder, too.
And a new holder, and then Alexander will put it up, and Kaysen bangs it home. So 49-18, the Wildcats have come to life in the second half. 1:07 remaining, and Lovington Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Lovington Municipal Schools welcomes everyone back. Students, faculty, staff, and parents. This year, show your Wildcat spirit by supporting Lovington students and their activities. While the students are working hard on their games and grades, Lovington schools are working hard for your students and parents. They have a great website full of helpful information to keep you up to date. Check out lovingtonschools.net and stay up to date with Lovington school activities and announcements. And go Cats!
It is an 80-yard touchdown return for the second punt return of the day for Elijah Rivero. The point after by Kaysen Alexander is good, and that will make this a 49-18 ball game. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Caleb Aranda on to do the kicking duties here, but it was not all that long ago clock time that this was a 15-12 ball game.
That's right.
And then 18-22, so Lovington has exploded in the second half, and Caleb puts the boot into it and fielding that one back at the 2. It'll be Bamforth out to the 10. Looks for some room to the 15, to the 20, to the 30. He's got some room, and the turf monster brings him down at the 35, and he Supermans forward to the 40.
It really came off of a trip by Alex Kame, who got him down low, and that trip, it just kind of, he kept going forward for a little while after Kame stopped him a bit, but that's what ended up actually tripping him up.
So Kame with the shoestring tackle that saves a touchdown. Under a minute to play here in the ball game.
And then he comes off limping, just a little bit of a calf cramp, I think.
And the Wildcats are going to put out all of their second and third string here. Portales keeping the first string in. They want to get one more score in this one. And they'll hand it to Clayton Hamilton. Big hole up the middle. He's across the 50, and he puts the big shoulder into a Wildcat and gets it across the 40 to the 39-yard line. That's 8 and 11. That's 19 yards for Hamilton.
I think Paul Sanchez was in there trying to make that stop. And
Paul Sanchez, I think, going to get credit for the stop, but he's probably also going to be seeing 3 of Hamilton after that hit.
Well, he turned away and was kind of shaking his head a little bit.
And they will hand it off to Hamilton again up the middle, and he crosses the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 9 yards for Hamilton. 28 yards on 2 carries for Hamilton. 40 seconds to go, and a timeout going to be taken by Portales, trying to save some time. So we'll be back in 30 as Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Stone Oilfield Services says many traffic fatalities may be caused by an intoxicated driver. So do yourself and your community a favor and remember the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and above all, common sense. Safe and sober driving is everyone's responsibility. That message was from Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington, a name you can trust and depend on. For quality and integrity, call 575-396-1840. From the Stone family and staff at Stone Oilfield Services.
Out of the Portales timeout, the Rams on the march, but the Cats will raise the W over the stadium at the end of this one. 37 seconds remaining in the ball game. Lovington 49, Portales 18. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan patrolling field side. Braden Cooper on our camera this afternoon. And so Portales going to try and get one more salvage score. Hand it to Segovia. Big room up the middle. He's across the 20. Dances outside. And then a good job by Paul Sanchez to knock him down. So that's going to bring him all the way down inside the 15 down to, well, they're going to put him, looks like, at the 16. So it'll be a 12-yard gain for Segovia. That'll put him over 100. Segovia with it, hit at the line and dropped a 2-yard gain as that was Chris Casadas on the stop. So 2 yards for Segovia, 17 carries, 104 yards, and timeout Portales with 21 seconds to go. We'll be back right after this.
Listen up. B&B Rentals and Services has got dumpsters. Can you believe it? 30 and 40-yard dumpsters. These guys are a contractor's dream. B&B Rentals has light plants, porta-john trash trailer combos, office trailers, emergency and recovery trailers. Conveniently located in Lovington, B&B can serve you anywhere in Lee County and the surrounding area. Find B&B Rentals LLC on social media, and if you can remember the number, call 396-1722. B&B Rentals and Services.
The Portales Rams, with 21 seconds to go, take the timeout. They are trying to get not only a touchdown for pride, but your point differentials could come in when we get to playoff time. So the Rams trying to put another one on the board to close the deficit of defeat here against the Wildcats. Welcome back as Lee looks to pass, starts at right, comes back left. He's going to get flushed, and he is going to get hit, and he is going to be... Ooh, that ought to be intentional grounding. They are not going to do it, though, but good job back there by Joel Spencer.
Yeah, 43.
I don't know how that isn't intentional grounding, but because there was nobody even in the neighborhood.
There was, but they were blue.
So 9 seconds, make that 11 seconds to go on a 3rd down and 7, make it 3rd and 8 here with 11 seconds to go. Lee back to pass, 2-step drop, goes right, throws right, puts it up, and Sanchez, they're going to call the push-off on Paul against Segovia.
Yeah.
So it'll be pass interference on the Wildcats, I've got to think, even though that ball was well over the head of Segovia.
Yep. Still, it's the action on the ground that mattered more than where the ball was headed.
Yep, and so 15-yard pass interference on the Wildcats, 130 penalty yards on Lovington. Owie. There's only 5 seconds to go. It will be the 10th first down of the ball game for Portales, and they will have it first and goal from the 7-yard line. And this should be the final play of the ball game. Actually, it'll be 3rd and 1, not that it matters. So it'll wind up being a 3rd and 1, but you know Portales is going to go for the end zone here on what should be the last play of the ball game. I'm thinking you probably hand it to Segovia here. Now, waiting on it is Lee, and he'll pump fake left. He'll throw left. He has a man. That is Bonilla, and he'll take it in at the gun. Antonio Bonilla from 7 yards out will have the 3rd touchdown of the ball game through the air for Lee. It won't matter because the Wildcats are victorious. The only question is it going to be 49-24 or 49-25? 24 points in the 4th quarter for the Lovington Wildcats. And the Rams have put another 6 up. I'm going to try and make it 7 or make it 8 because they're going to go for 2 again. Your point differential matters as Lee rolls left, tosses to Bam fourth, and he's going to be short as a nice job done there by the Wildcats secondary. And Shooter Burns, my favorite football name on the team. And that will end the ball game. Lovington victorious 49-24. We'll be back for the post-game report in your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. Lovington improving to 1-1 on the year. Victorious 29-24. Wildcat football continues in a moment.
Honest, trustworthy. Man Welding gives you confidence you made the right decision. Jimmy Carter and his exceptional Man Welding team support Wildcat athletics and the Lovington School. Man Welding is your local welding company. Big jobs or small jobs, call Man Welding 396-4540. Any welding job, any welding question, call 396-4540. Together, we'll fabricate the future. You made the right decision. You called Man Welding. Man up.
When it comes to your hard-earned money, selecting the right bank is vital. Hi, I'm David Campbell, president of First American Bank in Lovington. First American Bank in Lovington is part of this community. So bank with trusted partners you know, and trusted partners that are part of this area we call home. First American Bank offers all the advantages big corporate banks do, and we do our banking with hometown support and commitment. Choose First American Bank, 19 West Washington in Lovington. We want to earn your trust, then earn your business.
For over 25 years, Eunice Pump and Supply has been more than just a business. They've been a part of the heartbeat of Eunice. From the oil fields to the classrooms, Eunice Pump and Supply is all in backing the athletes, cheering on scholars, and investing in the future of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply takes pride in their hardworking team, their dedication to excellence, and most of all, the youth. Visit Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, and now proudly serving Lovington at 321 North Main. Your hometown partner and a proud supporter of Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, local, loyal, and proud to serve. Lovington Wildcat fans, are you ready for the battle? For all your BOP nipple ups and BOP testing, call Battle Energy. Battle Energy is also providing safety training, no matter where you need it. Battle does on-site or mobile training. Call today at 575-942-9472 for the company that's ready to go to battle with you. Battle Energy proudly supports all Lovington and Lee County athletics. It's no secret, at some point you'll have a question or need to replace or fix something on your vehicle. Whether your vehicle is new or ancient, Lovington Auto Supply is your trusted advisor when you need dependable auto parts. Not only do they have the parts you need, they have real answers to your real automotive questions, and that help keeps your vehicle running longer and stronger. Quality parts, helpful people. Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Napa, get up and go.
And welcome back to your Wildcat postgame show here on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel and HobbsAmerica.com from Z94 KZOR. I'm TJ Miracle, Dawn Morgan Fieldside, Braden Cooper running our camera. The Cats victorious 49-24 over the Portales Rams, and will go to 1-1 on the season. Final numbers in this one, we'll start with Portales. Kingston Lee goes 12 of 24 for 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. His favorite target by far today was number 10, Joseph Kita. He had 3 catches for 51 yards, including a touchdown. Actually, Bamforth also with 3 catches for 62 yards for Bamforth. Actually, no, that's 50. Sorry, no, that is right. That is 62 yards for Bamforth. So he was the leading receiver with 62 yards and a touchdown. There we go. Antonio Bonilla with a touchdown late in the ballgame from 7 yards out. On the ground, Slade Segovia goes over the century mark. He has 17 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown, the majority of his yards, it was a 69-yarder. Also on the ground, Clayton Hamilton coming in late with 2 carries, 28 yards. Bamforth, a couple carries for 11 yards. Lozano, 1 carry, -6 yards. And Kingston Lee, 14 carries for -13 yards. He was sacked 4 times in the ball game. So 198 through the air, 130 collectively on the ground, 328 total yards for Portales in this ball game. They were flagged 9 times for 75 yards. They did get 10 first downs in the ball game, got 6 points in each quarter. 6 in the first, 6 in the second, 6 in the third, and 6 in the fourth. That's how they get to their 24. For your Lovington Wildcats, Justin Allen finishes the afternoon 7 of 15 for 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 INTs. Gutierrez did start the second half at quarterback, and he goes 1 of 2 for 6 yards. So collectively, that's 8 of 17 for 148 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. On the ground, a very workmanlike afternoon from Zach Diaz, 15 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mendeville coming in late. He had 5 carries for 12 yards in the ball game. Then you had Gutierrez, 2 carries, make that 3 carries, 41 yards, including a 29-yard touchdown when he was in the game at quarterback. And then Rivera, 1 carry for -12 yards. So that's 148 through the air, 167 on the ground, 315 total yards for Lovington in the ballgame. They get 15 in the first, none in the second, 10 in the third, and then 24 in the fourth. That's how they get to their 49 on the board. Well, actually, they get there with 2 punt returns from Elijah Rivero for touchdown, 1 from 60 yards, 1 from 80 yards. It was the capper, and 2 field goals also put through by Caleb Aranda, 1 from 30 yards, the other from 48 yards, banged that one home. So 315 in the offense, but the special teams really bailing them out. The Wildcats with 10 first downs in the ball game and 13 penalties for 130 yards. So probably more penalties there than they would like to see. So Coach Bailey with his squad down there having a long conversation with them. Of course, a reminder, next Friday night, weather permitting, of course, we will be right back here at the friendly blue turf, the friendly confines of Wildcat Stadium and Brian Urlacher Field, with another team from southeast New Mexico in blue coming in as the Carlsbad Cavemen will be in. That's 6:45 next Friday for the Stone Oilfield pregame show with the kickoff at 7 o'clock. Of course, we're awaiting your Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation, and the Wildcats coming out in much better energy in that second half and came out definitely ready to play, outscoring Portales 34-12. So, and then getting special teams touchdowns and points on the board, just very important there. Of course, while we have a moment, say a big thanks to all of our great Wildcat sponsors. Couldn't do it without Battle Energy, Lovington Auto Supply, Napa, Eunice Pump and Supply, the First American Bank of Lovington, Man Welding, BMB Rentals, Lovington Schools, Stone Oilfield Services, Aftermath Hot Oil, and Bob's Thriftway. Couldn't do it without their help and support. Of course, it's because of those folks that we never have to charge you to watch your kids and teams play. Unfortunately, too many folks who do what we do are charging you now or beg you for donations, and we don't do that either. So be sure you thank those folks who make it possible to watch and listen to your kids absolutely free of charge. You see them there at the bottom of your screen, and, of course, you hear their ads during our broadcast on this one. So a hard-fought game. It doesn't seem like, you know, you would look at the result, 25-point win for the Wildcats. At one point, this was a 3-point game going into the second, or rather into the second half, and so the Wildcats, the Rams coming out to play, but the Wildcats waking it up in the second half and coming out with this big 49-24 victory. And important to remember, there is just one more pre-district game before we get into that extremely long district season. Yeah, an 8-team district, so 7 district games that will kick off in Roswell here in just a couple of weeks against the Roswell High Coyotes. So the team breaking up now from around Coach Bailey, and we will have your Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation coming up here in just a minute. Just Coach Bailey getting some hugs and giving some hugs and loving on some of those players. Now your Bob's Thriftway coaches conversation, Dawn.
Yeah, congratulations. A tale of two halves, a tale of two teams, a tale of the longest game in history, right? But a good end for the Wildcats. And, you know, you talked a lot about recovery, about coming back, not looking good in the first half, doing what you coaches challenged the team to do. They responded, and look where you are.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be perfect, and that's hard when you're a coach not to be nitpicky. And I know that it's not going to be perfect, but what I don't ever allow us to do is to not play hard, not play well as far as our emotions, composure. Our energy has to be great with our teammates. We got to love each other hard. And really, I feel like there have been times where we've lost games, because that doesn't always correlate to winning, but we've lost games when we've had great energy and we've loved each other hard and gave our best effort. But that wasn't the case when we were losing this game. That wasn't the case. Our energy was way down. Our decisions together, as far as, you know, after the play, late, side, you know, when to make good decisions, just weren't doing the things that we've been talking about. And so, but I'm proud of them. Like you said, we responded. I felt like last night we were pretty explosive in our energy too, not just plays. And then this early this afternoon, it just was not the same football team. I don't know what was going on, but we responded after halftime. I challenged them hard, and they responded. So I'm really proud of the team.
Better energy, better execution, better outcomes, and yeah, they got the job done, and then some. And as you mentioned, you know, Rivero tying a school record with 2 punt returns, you know, into the end zone in one game. And I think that it's a case of, especially that second one, not being just willing to accept the average, the ordinary, and the outcome that everybody expects. It's about continuing to push and go for the extraordinary.
Yeah, Elijah is a special player. He has great opportunities this year to break receiving records. And I joked with him, I said, if your offensive coordinator figured out how to get you the ball, then you'd break other records too. But, you know, sometimes we're struggling to do that, and that just is part of football. And he is so selfless. He's a great teammate. And so to see him get his, you know, it's not about that. I know that's not about it for him. But to see him get his is huge. I was so happy for him. And you're right. He's special in that he doesn't want to make a big play. He wants to make a game-changing play.
And you talked about this team. Really, you had a couple of instances where you made coaching calls that you went with what your team does best, not what a coach's strategy often is to slow down. You're a certain number of points ahead. Do you hang on to the ball and just try to keep the ball out of the hands of the other team, or do you go ahead and, you know, you're going for it? You go for it because you know you've said your team plays best when it's on the move, when they've got the energy, and you want to keep the momentum going, and it served you well in this case. And also going with Caleb, going with trusting your kicker who's got the hot foot, consistent, providing you with reliability, consistency, and you went with him and made the decision to get points on the board where you felt like you could, and stay ahead that way.
Yeah, that was a hard decision for me because, you know, I believe in our ability to get that 4th and 1. I know we can do that, but that doesn't always promise points either. And I knew, you know, the way Caleb's been working and how good of an athlete he is, I felt like going up by 7 was absolutely 100% the right call, as hard as it is sometimes, you know, and it just analytics, I try to look at those things a lot. I'm kind of a football nerd, and so you just can't not take a 7-point lead if you have an opportunity to do that. And so it was hard for a second. I looked at the scoreboard, realized we were up by 4, and thought, no, this one's the right call pretty easily. And so I'm just proud that he executed, and it takes a full unit. You know, Chase Terrell's snapping the ball, Elijah Rivera was holding it, and Caleb, he booted it today. I'm so proud of the way he played.
And then toward the end, you were able to get Kaysen in there, and he banged one through as well. So good for him. What's next, though? You've got Carlsbad. You told these guys with the way things happen this weekend, they've got actually shorter prep time, you know, before this next game to get ready for a big team and a big game.
Yeah, we could have not played this game today. I feel like I kind of had to convince Jamie Ramirez to come back, and I really wanted us to get to play football. We only get 10 promised games, and you only get 5 at home. I wanted to finish this football game, and so I knew what we were signing up for. We're going to have that short turnaround against a huge 6A team, a team that's tough no matter what, whether we win, lose, whatever, we come out of that game, a little beat up, sometimes similar to the Hobbs game. And we'll take care of them this week, though. We'll make sure that make sure that we're ready to go physically. I will be ready to go mentally, too.
All right, Coach. Thanks as always for your time, being gracious, good or bad, up or down. You're always talking with us, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the team, and great job today. It was entertaining. Good outcome, and good luck next week. We'll be right here.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Don's Thriftway with Coach Bailey, your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. So with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on it. A game that started at 8 o'clock last night ends at 4 o'clock, a little after 4 o'clock on a Saturday because of the postponement. The Cats come out, though, in the second half and dominate and win this one by a final score of 49-24. For Tiff and Evie Stuber, keeping an eye and ear on things back at One Radio Square. For Braden Cooper, our camera operator. For Dawn Morgan, patrolling the field, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long from Wildcat Field, and thank you for watching and listening. This has been Wildcat Football from New Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Good day, everybody. Happy holiday weekend.